July 3rd, the wildest night of the year before the 4th of July at Governor's Comedy Shop in Levittown on Long Island. And for dirty jokes and information, call the all-digital 516-9221. Friday night, July 9th, Jackie headlines at the world-famous Concord Hotel. It's a big singles weekend at the Catskills. Go try and stump the joke man, meet the joke man. Maybe his beautiful wife, Sirianni Martling, will be there. Boy Gary tonight at Bennigan's in Morristown, New Jersey, celebrating college night and unveiling his new press photo. Wait till you see it. Have you seen it?
No, I can't get a look at it.
Gary, give Robin your new press photo.
Sasa Smelly.
Sasa Smelly made a new press photo where it's very high concept.
Is he on a box?
No, not on a box. He's bent over a graffiti wall, and obviously he has just sprayed Baba Booey on the wall. Look at it.
Oh, my goodness. Now, what kind of acting is this, would you say?
I'd say bad. Bad to horrible.
You know, what is he ducking? Nothing.
I don't know.
I'm high. It's so obvious, you
What?
guys.
What?
No, you've sprayed Baba Booey.
Law, because I'm graffitiing the wall.
Right, we got that.
Well, you're a De Niro.
And you really look like you were caught.
Yeah, you're a real De Niro.
Don't miss Stuttering John and his band Rubber Beaver performing.
You really want this photograph.
Yeah. Stuttering John and his band Rubber Beaver will be performing at the Kokomo Bay Cafe in Philadelphia Thursday night, June 24th. The $5 admission includes a free meal. Too bad you didn't get that haircut for the picture. Would have looked good.
Yeah, too bad.
You know, I don't think he spelled Baba Booey right.
I spelled it right. And also,
How's he spell it?
It's, the Baba's okay, but then it's B-O...
O-E-Y. That's how I spell it.
Oh, I don't see the Y.
Hey, you know he has the spelling
Hey,
for it.
come on. It's not even in a dictionary. If you and come and see me tonight and look at my new haircut.
If you're looking, you know what I don't understand, there's a camera photographer, so if he's trying to avoid being caught making graffiti.
Why would he have a camera person there?
Yeah, why would you?
Makes no sense.
He's ducking from the camera.
That's why I say it's totally ridiculous.
Oh, look, the camera that I hired.
I'm not ducking from the camera.
Gary came to me, he says, I don't know which picture to use for my press photo. Did you decide? I took the stupidest one. I said,
You did this to him.
Yes.
Papa Flunky.
None of the above.
If you're looking for a great DJ for your wedding or summer party, call Scott the Engineer's Rocket Entertainment toll-free from any city. He had one picture. Did you show Robin the picture of you with your giant gums sticking through?
I know, you're talking about with the big thumbs up?
Yeah.
And my giant teeth?
Yeah, the big thumbs up, and he's smiling, and his gums
They did look, they were
protrude
big.
like Mr. Ed.
Oh,
No,
no.
they really did.
I would love that picture.
You can have that.
I want that.
Can I autograph
Yeah,
that for
please.
you?
Yeah, I want that. Do you have that here?
Yeah.
Show that to Robin. Wait, you want to hear Robin laugh? Wait, you're going to hear. This is going to be the loudest laugh you've
It's
had.
better than his mouth just hanging open
Yeah,
in this one.
much better. Wait till you see this. No. Wait for her real laugh, seriously. Okay. And record this, because this will be the greatest laugh you've ever heard. You'll be hiccuping. He has a mouth like Mr. Ed in this press photo.
Oh, stop
How he could have narrowed it down to these three. I tried to convince him. Yeah, here it is. Get ready.
right.
Wait till you see this. All right, hand it to her.
Hold on, wait for me to get in there.
Okay, he wants to hear it, so I'm not looking until he gets in there.
All right, don't
He
look.
wants to put on headphones.
All right, when I say 1, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, Gary, come on. You couldn't have picked this.
Show it to Jackie.
I saw it. I couldn't believe it.
Put a bridle on that.
No, you know what happened? There were other people here who thought that was a good picture. I wasn't one of them.
Who thought that?
Peggy and Jen were high on that
Yeah,
picture.
they're goofing on you.
Wouldn't you love to see the pictures? Those are the 4 best ones that they chose.
Yeah, oh, I'd love to see the outtakes.
Oh, what a party.
Oh, that's funny.
And tell Larry, especially he has no talent of his own, he's going to need a good producer to help him, look good. And it'll be good. All right, thank you.
Thank you for the suggestion.
All right.
Papa Polhai.
Plus, Gary, you're so hairy, you could fill in Larry's bald spot. You just rip hair out of your own head.
Now, Gary, let me ask you, if they do call and ask for
Interview.
a resume or an
Mama
interview,
monkey.
Certainly, I'd be willing to interview, but
All right.
but that's just
Don't,
because you
just have a positive attitude. Maybe we'll get rid of you.
But I would never leave the Stern Show or New York.
Really?
I'm
you're not leaving New York?
Not willing to relocate.
What
You
if
really
we
want
move?
it?
Maybe that's how we can get rid of it. We'll move.
Right. All right, if you're not willing to leave New York, if the show moves to California, let's say.
But boss, wherever you go, it's brighter.
Seriously, would you not leave New York if I went to California?
I would go to California.
Oh.
I
All right,
mean,
where wouldn't you go?
Idaho.
Idaho?
Right.
Anything-
Seattle.
Okay.
Seattle's very cloudy.
I would live in Idaho.
Down
That's some haircut. That's a really good haircut.
anywhere below Virginia.
That haircut is really good, and it's really attractive on you.
Thank you.
It looks great.
Well,
There's,
so I
there's
better,
a person in the planet who wouldn't look in the mirror and say they did a horrible atrocity to my hair with that kind of hair. Seriously.
I'd chase my barber with an axe.
Maybe it looked different when the barber was.
Well, it always does. I have to say, it looks different because, like yesterday, I finished it and it was wet.
Like the bangs are the killer. I mean, the bangs
I
are
know,
like,
they just come out of nowhere.
yeah, I mean, they're just unbelievable.
The barber must have had one of those Coney Island mirrors, you know.
Yeah.
No, wait, I
Make his head
gotta
look-
tell you, the barber was a black guy from England,
Yeah.
and he's only been here 2.5 weeks. So I may have been one of his experiments.
Was he a barber in England?
He said he was,
Yeah.
but there's no proof.
What?
He was a convict.
He cuts it like a
No,
convict.
after he finishes it, it's wet, and then he puts like, gel in it.
Right.
But
Maybe you ought to get some gel.
yeah, I'm gonna try the gel thing tomorrow,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
and it might look a lot better.
Yeah. No, the bangs, your bangs, first of all, greet your eyebrows.
I bet you if you stood outside that barber shop, every single person who walks out looks exactly like him.
Seriously, doesn't his eyebrows meet his hairline?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's a roof.
It's not a haircut. And you know what else is funny? The guy has nice
please
curly
tell me.
hair. He has
Yes.
wavy hair.
Yes.
I straightened
This
it.
barber took it and cut out every wave, so it looks like a plank of cement on his head.
But it doesn't look like that when he puts
Who remembers Mo from the Three Stooges? Is that Mo from hell?
He looks like somebody hit him with a board.
Oh, wait a second. Look at the back of his head. Doesn't it look like a gorilla? Look, let Jackie see the back. It's like an ape.
Mighty Joe Delabate.
It looks makes your whole back of your head look flat, like you got like a retard.
Oh, man.
You know how a mongoloid has a flat neck?
No, but
That's what that looks like.
Smelly.
Seriously, you ever see a
They
mongoloid?
sort of had no neck. It's sort
Yeah.
of like the head runs into the neck. You don't
Turn
know
around
where
for a
anything
second.
ends.
I got to look at your neck. Look at that. That's the neck of a mongoloid. Call Larry King back. I have more recommendations. And he has the neck of a mongoloid.
There's no shape.
There's no shape to that neck.
So does that qualify as hiring the handicap?
do you think my wife's been bugging me? She wants to tweeze my connecting eyebrow,
Yeah, wow.
but I don't want it. I think it'll
But it's
grow-
more obvious from the haircut.
Yeah,
I
wait
never
a minute.
noticed
The
it that much.
interns told me you were shaving that.
No, I've never shaved that. They're insane.
Oh, I don't see connecting.
It's it's
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's
It does
hairy.
connect.
Yeah, why don't you
And-
get depilatory?
Well, because if you tweeze it, doesn't it grow back thicker, Robin?
No, that's a
that's a myth.
mistake.
Won't it hurt?
It'll
Yeah.
hurt.
I do have to admit, I had it waxed once about 10 years ago.
You know,
Did you?
pulling
Yeah,
out
you're kidding.
It hurt.
pulling out Gary's eyebrow hair is sort of like in The Fly when Chief
Why do you-
Davis tries to cut those hairs off his back.
Right. Why is your wife trying to change you all of a sudden? She married you with
No,
that
she just
connecting
thought
eyebrow.
she doesn't mind it. She just thought it might look better.
Starting to annoy her. I'm
She's
telling you.
always working on him.
You want to know something?
She married
You're
me
starting
for
to
better.
annoy her. You're starting to annoy her.
She has been trying to fix him since before they got married.
Yeah.
That's what two people do when they're in love. They better each other.
I bet your marriage isn't
I got her
last.
in 4-foot, spiked heels and miniskirts.
Your marriage isn't going to last. Nah, she wants to take away your unibrow.
She might, yeah.
Your woman should love your unibrow.
She won't let my brow progress.
I don't know. I want to see what it grows into. She touched up all their wedding pictures so that the unibrow wouldn't be there.
Did she make him taller too?
Yeah, a foot taller.
We had the opportunity
with a
for me
straight-
to stand on a box in our wedding pictures,
Oh,
and we
really?
decided we wanted it to be real.
Because we would have found out.
Where are your wedding pictures? I got to see that.
Actually, they'll be here in a couple of weeks.
Good.
It took me a long time to pick them out, but they should be ready in a few weeks. You want to see them?
You're not standing on a box? I would have stood on a box.
No. I don't want to do that. That's silly.
In the wedding, I said, I wonder if they have a little groom and a big bride on the wedding cake.
They did ask
She's
us
about
that.
a foot taller than him.
The photographer offered.
Really?
And we turned it down.
Isn't that funny?
Was he laughing when he said it?
No, because he's short too.
Would you like a box to stand?
He said at his
How
wedding,
could you say that with a straight?
because the photographer's a short guy, and he said at his wedding,
Do you want a
he
ladder
stood on
for
a
the
box.
honeymoon night?
Oh, man. How could she love him? I don't know, man. It's unbelievable. Would you like a box to stand on? And maybe you'd like a monkey and organ grinder outfit to wear. This is what monkeys wear. Here, put this on.
Wait a minute,
Look
your
at-
curl is peeking out through your tails. Could you wrap it up?
Unbelievable.
How did we get here?
Larry King ought to hire you. I'm telling you, he'd have a lot to talk about. He'd have a whole lot.
I could produce him well, though. See, he'd be...
Right.
I'll tell you-
Tell me how you would do it.
well, see, with him,
Yeah.
he doesn't read the book, so you get to do, all that research.
Right. You would do the research for him?
Right, research.
No, would you do that? Would you read the book?
Yes, I would read the book.
Right. And then you'd forget to give him the information. right?
Exactly.
Like you do here.
So he'd be sitting out there without the name of his guest.
Right.
And no question.
Who am I with tonight? My producer, Gary Delabate, can't give me the name. Wow.
Papa Flunky.
Oh, I hope you get the job. I really am hoping.
I
for
haven't
you.
applied.
You haven't never worked for anyone else technically beside me as a producer. You've only worked for me.
And I produced Ross Frank for a very short time.
Oh, that's right.
Well, that
Traffic
was
reporter Ross
traffic.
Frank.
And also, that was a traffic report. And also, didn't you drive an ice cream truck?
Hey, wait a
Like
minute.
your father?
I was a consultant
Yeah.
on an MTV program.
Oh, that's
for
right.
for like a month.
Yeah, that was insane. That was dangerous.
And that show went on to great heights.
Yeah, it was right off the air.
They called me in too late.
Yeah. If you had had another couple of weeks, it could have been a different story. MTV had a failing show. They actually turned to Gary Dell'Abate as to what to do. And you know what his advice was? I don't know what to do. His advice was to fix the phone.
Get more phone lines and be better produced. They were underproduced.
I hope Larry King hires
There are
you.
very few people
What kind of salary would
like
you be looking
you
for?
who can be left to twist and just go to the phones not knowing what's on them
Right.
and make something out of that. Only you can do that.
Right.
Larry King, I do it for $100,000.
Really? Well, that's fair. That's a fair salary.
You try getting that out of CNN.
What did you do on our Channel 9 show? I never figured that out.
I was the segment producer.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to know some of the segments I produced? I produced the homeless makeover segment. I produced the yearbook segment. You know, some of those things.
That's about it, isn't it?
No.
Okay. Grillo, speaking of kids, you liked it, right?
Yeah, I loved it. No, it was seriously like the whole movie from beginning to end. It just like it keeps you interested. You don't lose interest at all. The whole entire movie.
I loved it. It was it keeps your entire interest, the whole from the start to the thing, and it comes and then the screen fills up, and then I loved it.
I like how he says interested. It keeps you interested. He's interested. Interested.
Interested.
Keeps you interested.
Interested.
It's just.
Interested.
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 In case you're wondering what we're talking about, I am an author. I'm writing a book that is due out in September.
A book with pictures.
Yeah, I'm throwing some pictures in. Just in case the writing sucks, you'll love the pictures. It's due out on Simon & Schuster, very prestigious.
Yes, prestigious house.
Yeah, it's a very prestigious house. Matter of fact, I have a meeting with my editor today.
Isn't Simon related to Carly?
Yes, I am meeting with Simon in the morning and then Schuster in the afternoon. Now, I'm meeting with my editor this today because I've completed, now get this, 6 chapters. I mean, finished. No, but I mean,
done.
they're done.
They
They're
won't
polished.
have to be touched anymore.
No, all I got to do is be typed now.
Oh, I can't read them?
No. An author never shows their pages ahead of time.
But these are finished.
These are finished pages. And so I'm going to give her the finished pages, go over any changes that she might have, last minute changes, and then type them up. And that'll be that.
Very good.
And then I can go on to my next 6. And meanwhile, the deadline for the whole finished book was supposed to be June 15th, but
Oh,
yeah.
you're late.
Yeah. Well, I got to get that together. I'm going to work all week. I'm going to write another 6 chapters this weekend.
This weekend you're writing 6
Yeah. I'm already starting. Matter of fact, as I'm talking to you, I've written 3 pages already. I have no time to spare during the show. Robin, you must eat more protein and exercise less, I said, with a very strong voice. Robin looked at me as if looks could kill. She says, you too should follow your own advice. Yes, I said, and left it at that. With that, Gorilla came in and spoke very funny. Gorilla sounded funny, but Robin's voice was half in the grave. Gorilla, you saw Last Action Hero, I said with much excitement. He said, yes, I saw it. S-O-R-E. Sick. I stop. I said, Gorilla speaks funny. When a word is more than 2 syllables, he might as well be speaking French. I said, all right, turn off my typewriter before I choke myself. See, that's how I write during the show, Robin.
I see. Oh, I didn't know that.
Robin didn't know that. I said. But Gary knew it.
Don't you hate writing dialogue like that?
Yeah, it's very hard for me. Christ, I can't look at Tata Toofy anymore. What's he doing in here? Kakagooey.
Apparently the new favorite. I was out last night at an appearance. Apparently,
Mama Monkey?
No, Rah-Rah Retard.
Rah-Rah Retard. Rah-Rah Retard.
That is a bad one.
Toothy.
Hey, I cut a new one yesterday. Do I have that?
Kakakuli.
No, not kakakuli.
That's what I got.
You got kakakuli?
That's what I got, yeah.
What'd you got?
Kakakuli.
I thought I had something else. I don't even remember what it is. It's like 3 of them. Kakakuli.
Mama monkey.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
These.
Yeah, this one.
Da dummy.
Yeah. Dummy.
Sa smelly.
No, that's not it.
Here it comes.
Retard.
Ah, there you go. We got to cut a song. Like the respect. Retard.
R-A-T-A-R-D.
Yeah, but we should spell it wrong. R-O-T-A-R-D.
Find out what it means to me.
Rotard.
Or like row your boat.
Row your tard.
Retard.
Yeah.
In the studio. Merrily, off to the dentist I go.
Now let's sing it in a round.
All right, Fred, you start.
Retard.
Retard.
Merrily.
Okay, shut up. All right, there's a girl out there?
Yes.
Well, anyway, for my book, I thought that we would have chapter card girls, and I asked the girls in our audience if they want to be in bathing suits in my book. I can make them famous, immortalize them in my book.
That's right.
Each chapter would start out with a different chapter card girl. So when we come back, we'll meet her. Gary, get my Polaroid camera so I can take pictures.
Of course.
And, of course, writing the book was a smart move. And what I'll
You
do...
always figure out a way to make it a reason to have girls
Yeah,
in.
I always work girls into every project.
Somehow.
Yeah, I'm like Dean Martin.
Sure, live show. We had ball girls at the tennis tournament.
Absolutely.
Lesbians in bed at the pay-per-view.
Butt bongo fiesta, butt bongo girls. Ho! Ho! Lesbians. Keep that up. I got a song. I feel a song coming on.
Lesbian.
I love lesbians. I love lesbians. All right. I ran out of words. Okay, we got to take a break, and we'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern.
Papa pieces.
Greasy. Gummy. Stupid.
Somebody just faxed us a bunch of new names for Gary.
Oily. Idiot. Overbite.
Big lips.
Duty.
All right. Did you see her appearance on Good Morning America?
No.
Oh, my God.
Give me a tape.
Are you kidding?
Give me a tape.
Yes, I was on there in a thong.
Mrs. Robin Marsalis.
No, he'd be Brandford Quivers.
Brandford Quivers?
Yeah, that's real likely.
Hey, Brandford, you shaving your legs?
For you, yeah.
No, seriously, Brandford hardly has any hair on his legs.
He's not a hairy person.
No, you're not hairy at all,
I'm
are
not
you?
a hairy guy, man.
You have any hair in your chest?
Do you want hair on your chest?
Robin, you should show yourself to Brandford.
I don't do that, Howard.
Brandford, you would never date Robin?
So when we going out, Rob?
Oh, wait a second.
No, this is silly.
No, it's not.
Why don't you go by his gig tonight?
Nah, it's...
Why don't you invite her to the gig?
No.
Why?
Why?
Yeah. You don't want Robin?
You want to come to the gig, Robin?
No, not under this kind of
Not
pressure.
under this kind of pressure, right?
Robin's a groupie.
No,
That's
Robin's
right.
cool.
I
Robin's cool.
was there last night.
Do you really ever think about Robin sexually? Seriously, do you ever think of her as a girlfriend?
Why would he do that?
all the time.
Do you really? No, seriously. Do you ever think about that, or do you date models and things?
No, you have this thing with models. I don't date models.
Well, Robin's an intelligent woman, very forceful, very strong. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're looking
Very
for some
forceful.
bimbo.
Robin, you're forceful?
Oh, yes.
I don't think Robin's...
Robin,
don't
tell
think of him as
Brandford
forceful.
about the time you served breakfast to a guy,
Oh, no.
like you told me yesterday.
Oh, no, I'm not telling that story.
Yeah, I mean, don't
That
go
was
all the way to the
a
end.
story
But
to you.
tell him what you could do for a man. Tell him about that weekend. Brandford, listen to this.
No, I'm not
If you have,
telling that story.
if you have a penis, you're gonna love this. I'll tell you that. Tell the story, Robin.
I'm not telling that story. Well, I don't know what you want me to tell.
Robin fixes breakfast for a guy. Listen to this.
Never tell Howard anything.
First of all, she gives him love all night, okay? Then the next morning when you wake up, Robin goes in the kitchen and cooks a big banquet for you. Now listen to this. You wake up, and you're like, where's that woman? you're sleepy and stuff. And you want,
Where's that woman?
where'd that woman at?
I had a woman here last night.
Now, hold on. Where'd that woman? I had one last night, and now I don't know where I am.
My woman done got away.
That woman done left my door. Yeah, boy, though. Them jugs wasn't enough. I hope she cooking something.
I hope she's slinging them jugs over the stove.
Yeah, them sloppy jugs. They need a good workout over that there hot stove. Okay, you fix me some flapjacks and greens.
Suddenly I'm reminded of being a boy in Louisiana.
Now come here, son. All right, so anyway. All right, turn off that music, you idiot. All right, so anyway, see, listen to this.
That was
Robin, I hope you don't mind me telling this. I know you told me in confidence, but... So...
Big breakfast.
So she makes love to a guy all night.
You said
right?
that. Big breakfast.
In all positions, in all ports.
Every orifice.
Every orifice.
Yeah.
And she
Phil.
does.
Phil.
True, Robin. You can't deny that.
No,
You've
no.
admitted that on the air, so don't go back on it.
I never did.
Yeah, right. Have you ever had everything? You've done it all. It's been done.
Who's that on the tape?
That's Robin.
Is that Robin?
Yeah.
That was the morning or the night before.
She does the whole champagne and peaches thing. She eats it off your belly. Tell him the truth. It's true. Okay. And she has a collection of vibrators.
Okay.
And teddies. So then all of a sudden... And by the way, bring your handcuffs. Tell them about the time you were handcuffed to a refrigerator by a boyfriend.
I don't know what he's talking about.
She was handcuffed to a refrigerator.
Really?
Yeah.
A refrigerator. Find anything more stable in the refrigerator?
So listen to this.
Bedpost, maybe.
So listen to this. I'm boring you, am I?
No.
You like Robin.
Just tell the story, though.
I bet you can't stand up right now. I bet you can't, hearing all these stories.
I can't believe you.
So anyway, so then when you wake up, you're
Big
looking
breakfast.
for you're looking for her.
Big
She cooks a
breakfast.
breakfast for you, but then she looks at the breakfast and goes, "This isn't enough for my man." She turns out all the lights and lights candles all over the room for breakfast. Right? Am I giving away a secret?
No.
Curtains closed.
Yeah.
Everything's closed. All that's in the room is candlelight.
Brandford, you're poking out of your shorts. And then Robin, when you walk into the room, goes, "Now your breakfast is ready."
Master.
Master. And then you said that.
Or did she say massa?
No, massa.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, my breakfast
Where's
ready,
that
woman?
music? Where's that music?
This
Wait,
is 5 years of
wait,
marriage,
wait.
and Robin isn't making breakfast anymore. It's like,
Where's
where
the
am
music?
yeah?
Wait, where's the music?
Where am my breakfast, woman?
There we go.
Now, when I met you, you fooled me. Under the circumstance, I should throw you right out of this house. I am the band leader on the Tonight Show. I can't have this kind of disrespect. What is it, woman? You entrapped me with your breakfast, and now that I'm your husband, Mr. Brandford Quivers, you take away my breakfast ritual? What am wrong with you? That's how Brandford really talks at home.
Yeah, I can't wait to drop this phony accent.
This phony white man accent.
I can't wait.
I turn that off. And then, and after breakfast, Robin throws you out of the apartment.
Not likely. She ain't
I
taking me
need
out.
eggs and pork and some jelly and jam on my English muffin.
Muffins.
Now, where am the jelly and jam?
Well, I do feed him.
That's good. That's good.
Hey, man.
That's good.
Brandford, tonight at your gig, imagine wrapping your lips around that sax as you stare at her double Ds. Do I need to say more? Would that be a date?
Man, you guys. Yeah.
You ever been with double Ds before?
How do you stand this every night, right?
You ever been with double Ds?
Huh?
You and Jay should talk about sex sometimes on the air.
On the air, yeah. All right, that's a great combination.
Yeah.
Howard. Ratings, that's right. Have I ever been with double Ds? Let me think. Yeah, actually, I have.
And wasn't it great?
I'm not really a as you say, jugs man.
Really?
No, I'm not a jugs man.
I'll tell you something.
See there, I've lost out.
Double D to me is beautiful. That's bordering on cow.
Oh, gee.
Right?
Thanks, Howard.
You know what I mean, Robin. Robin, I'm trying to sell you.
Thank you very much.
I'm into animals.
Bestiality.
Bestiality.
That's a good thing.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Keeps you from being a mass murderer. Anyway, let me just thank Brandford Marsalis for coming on tonight and tomorrow night. You can go see the delightful sounds of Brandford Marsalis. And by the way, you should see this review in the New York Post. Evidently, Brandford has some talent, according to this
You
guy.
were surprised.
Well, who knew? I can't evaluate. That all sounds the same to me.
Where's the goat?
The goat. Tonight and tomorrow night at the 5 spot on West 31st in Manhattan. I want to thank Brandford Marsalis for coming in. The great Brandford Marsalis. The incomparable.
There we go. Excuse me, I gotta go.
Eclipsing his brother, by the way. Oh, by the way, Brandford Marsalis was in earlier, and then during the commercials, Robin and Brandford are going to get together in Los Angeles.
Don't be ridiculous. He
Hey.
was just saying that.
Hey, you guys heard it, right?
Yeah. We heard it.
You know what you guys are like? You're like having big brothers.
Sweet jugs of fire.
And every time you're... Oh,
You
God.
should have heard Brandford. He got in
gonna
his...
smear that Natty's ice cream all over your Milky Dog. You say I'm good. I'm gonna be your wild man tonight.
Every time your sister gets a date, you guys make funny faces.
Hey, I set you up with him.
We were encouraging it.
Yeah, we made it
Yeah,
happen.
it wasn't too uncomfortable.
If it was up to you, you never would have gotten a date.
I'm gonna play you like the
I just said every man's nightmare, Howard.
What?
I just spoke to my wife, and she said, boy, that Brandford sounds so sexy. Is he single? I said, what are you talking about? She said, I don't know, something about a black man.
Really?
Oh, boy,
That's your wife.
Well,
you like
she
to
must
hear.
remember
I'm
from
gonna
her
get her
past.
too.
Yeah, how did she know that?
I'm gonna come out your house.
I want to suck on your tongue like a saxophone reed.
You know that technique, that triple tonguing? Mm-hmm.
What
That's
is
how
that?
I play the saxophone.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that.
Flick it at me.
Flickety, flickety, flicky.
Flickety, flicky.
Blickety, blickety, blickety.
Flickety, frack.
I'm going to play your lap like a saxophone. Anyway, so if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have gotten your date, your
Who
dream
said
date.
I had a date?
He said, hey, so
When are we
Brandford,
going to Los Angeles?
So
But then I'll
Brandford-
be married by then.
Brandford turns to Robin and goes, seriously, Robin, when you're out in Los Angeles, what about it? And Robin was like,
Right, yeah.
He was serious.
And like I said, when are we going to Los Angeles? You got any trips planned?
yeah.
I will put my tongue in your ear.
Robin, you're probably going to go out there during the 2 weeks.
No, I'm not.
Hey, how about a date, honey?
Yeah. Yeah, you talk that talk.
Give me that giggle.
You walk that walk. Yes, I did. You laugh it up.
Now we're going to get serious.
Check me out. Check me out. I'm 14 below.
Now, pull down your pants and make me breakfast.
Oh, you look so big.
Ain't no woman like the one I got. I will kiss the ground she walk on. Every day the earth comes up around her. She can make the birds sing harmony. Every day to build my world around her. Heaven knows you made just for me. I would kiss the ground she walks on. My word, she'll obey me. Yeah. Ain't no woman like the one I got. That God knows they don't come back.
Now, close the curtain and open your legs. Thank you. I want to be there for that dream date. He's in good shape, too. He's a good-looking guy.
He's in very good shape.
Oh, come on. You're gonna look him up in Los Angeles, aren't you?
We're not going to Los Angeles.
If we ever go.
If we ever go. Like I said, he'll be married.
We might have to go out there.
You act like we're on the plane every other week.
You're attracted to him, though, aren't you?
He's very cute.
Yeah.
I like him, yeah.
See it?
Yeah, I see it.
Say it.
I see his beautiful children.
Very cute, talented,
Yeah.
bright man.
Wealthy.
What's not to like?
There you go.
Ebony man. Proud. Ebony man. Ebony.
Something tells me Miss TV might need to go to L.A. for an emergency meeting. A mini project. Hey, dim that light, will you there, Brandford?
Yes, sir.
What, are you getting in the mood?
Yowza.
All right, anyway, Robin, let's do some news.
Well, Howard, you know, I was telling people just the other day, people don't listen to me, though.
I listen to you.
Telling people just the other day that,
I
you know,
listen
you
to
got to
your
be
chest.
careful with those fireworks. And
Yeah.
already, I mean, 4th of July hasn't even gotten here yet, and somebody's already blown off some fingers.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. What could have happened? I held it in my mouth and lit it. What could go wrong?
Is that what he did? Did he hold it in his mouth and light it?
No, it happened on the Long Island Expressway yesterday. 3 Suffolk County men were riding back from Brooklyn where they had scored their illegal fireworks.
Right.
Kenneth Bauman was in the front passenger seat of a friend's car on the LIE when he decided to throw a super blockbuster firecracker out the window.
I'll bet you those guys are listeners of ours.
Probably.
And I've warned them.
But it blew up in his hand before he could get rid of it. The driver, Dennis Coslow Jr., suffered an ear injury as a result of the explosion, and the backseat passenger suffered shrapnel wounds. Bauman, of course, was flown by helicopter to Stony Brook University Hospital. The other two were treated at Huntington Hospital.
You know, we got a hate letter the other day from a woman who said, I was listening the other day, and Robin was doing a story on a child who had been raped, and Jackie laughed hysterically. and I will never listen to the show again. I'm sitting there going, no, and I'm going, yeah, it's true. To most people, they don't know Fred's sitting there playing that stupid laugh.
They just think Jackie's totally inappropriate.
I bet you 90% of them have no idea.
I know.
Now that's funny.
Yeah, that's funny. There it is.
Well, these guys had $1,000 worth of fireworks in the car.
Wow.
And 2 cents worth of fingers now. Oh, my God.
And hospital emergency rooms around the country, Howard, are getting ready. Because they always say they have a lot more work to do around the 4th of July.
Well, every year, Idiot John puts together the whole big fireworks at Jackie's
he's
party.
already been bragging that he's got a super display, even bigger than the one he did last year. He's always got to top himself.
And John's such a loser that I know that now that he's got a recording contract and everything, he's on the verge of releasing an album, he's going to blow his fingers off.
Oh, absolutely. He's a guitarist.
Yeah.
He'll blow his hand off.
He almost blew up half my family. One year. I swear it came shooting over our heads.
Boy, that would have been a tremendous loss.
Oh,
the whole Martling family wiped out?
Wiped out in one blast?
My guess. The people at my party.
Yeah, your guess.
No, he had no idea what he's doing. Wearing those stupid shorts with his long hair. He'd light something and just go running away.
It's my cousin It.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
He's an idiot. I really do hope he blows his fingers off. That'll be funny.
Hope his hair catches fire.
Yeah, like the whole thumb and the all fingers look like the pinky.
Yeah, what is your most important two fingers? These two that hold the pick?
Yeah.
Blow those away.
Blow off his pick fingers. Can't even pick his butt. All right, very good. We'll take a break. And that's the first big, I'm telling you.
That's the first couple of fingers we've claimed.
All right, we'll be back right after these words. Just got yelled at during the commercials.
Bye.
Well, I don't get yelled at directly. Gary gets yelled at from Tom Chisano, our general manager, and then I get yelled at through Mama Monkey.
Oh, what about?
No, I'm supposed to be giving away Lagerfeld photo gift packs for Father's Day to all our guests who come in, and why didn't I give one to Fabio?
Oh.
And like he was throwing a whole little tantrum out in the hall. And I just said, because maybe I've got like a million things to worry about, okay? Like maybe for one time in your incredibly empty life, you could understand someone who's so busy trying to coordinate all elements of a radio show to keep people interested.
No, you know what you're doing? You're paying too much attention to what goes out over the air.
Oh, you think so? You think I should just pay attention to like how his sponsors are reacting?
Gift packs.
Yeah, I don't have enough to do.
That's the important thing.
Tom, your head is incredibly empty like Grillo's. Don't even laugh at Grillo when you hear him on the air. He needs vanilla meringue. And then he should tell me to my face, but he tells Gary.
Yeah.
And Gary has nothing to do with it.
Smelly.
Sasa Smelly gave me the gift pack.
Retard.
Retard gave me the gift pack.
Tata Toothy.
Tata Toothy gave me the gift pack, Robin.
Mama Monkey.
All right. Robin, what's in the news?
Well, that suicide mother, that's what they're calling her now.
Mrs. Kevorkian?
No, that's the suicide doctor.
Right.
Doctor's wife. But, no, the woman who was so upset that her husband was going to be given unsupervised visits with her daughter, that she killed her daughter and herself. What's funny about that, Jackie? That's a tragedy.
Come on, there's some humor. It's just the logic of it all. She's no Spock.
Well, she was a lawyer, and, it's always interesting to me. I don't know whether I'd even think of this. She, went into the garage. She and the daughter climbed into the car. She hooked the hose up to the exhaust, put the hose in the window, and, of course, turned it on. And then that's how she and her daughter were found out later. Her son and daughter, who are older and from a previous marriage, released her suicide note yesterday.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it was written on a notepad that said, things to do.
See Jackie at Chuckles.
She had everything crossed off apparently, so it was time to go.
Call 92516-922-WINE. There's a tip in our Jackie mug, and we have to return it.
That's right.
Yeah.
It says, Dear Jason and Marissa, her two children, please forgive me for any pain I have caused and will cause you in the future. You are my children, and I love you more than myself.
Yeah, sure.
Abigail is also my child. I cannot knowingly allow her to be sexually abused. I have no choice. I hope you can understand. Be kind to each other. I'm sorry I had to leave you alone.
P.S. I'm as nutty as a fruitcake.
Love forever, Mom.
I don't want her to be abused, so I'll kill her.
Like, that's not abuse.
I think I'd rather be abused. I'll suffer through that and go to therapy for a couple of years.
I could survive abuse.
Yeah.
They want to assure all people that they take this thing very seriously. They understand the pain and the agony of this problem and why it strikes at the very heart of the church's trust level. So they're definitely determined to do something about it.
Yeah, and they agreed on one thing. They're going to get these a whole supply of corks for all the altar boys to put where the sun don't shine. That'll probably stave off. And the corks have little pieces of glass in them.
Did you see Maury Povich yesterday? He had a priest on who's written a book.
I like how they issue a statement. It's the heart. It strikes at the heart of the church.
Yes.
And it's not the heart where it strikes, my man. The heart we can handle. The buttocks we
Yeah,
can't.
you've been striking somewhere below.
Yeah, below the heart. And you were saying on Maury Povich.
Yeah, they had a priest on yesterday who decided he could no longer cling or, live up to his vow of chastity.
Really?
After he sat across the table from a woman.
Because that...
To have a conversation with her.
Because that is a pain unique to the church. That is a pain that strikes at the very sphincter of the church. It strikes at the very sphincter.
Apparently this woman was coming to the priest because, I don't know, she was thinking of becoming a Catholic or something, and, she was having some kind of spiritual questions.
Oh, yeah?
And so, somebody arranged for her to meet with this priest, and somehow or other they met at some restaurant or something. I don't know why.
Oy vey.
But here she is, telling the priest all of her spiritual problems, and the next thing he knows, he says, I was just, when she was talking to me, it just, it just struck me. It was just so deep. I just felt so much.
And bingo, I had a lump in me robe.
And when they were talking about each other, I said, didn't you ever experience horniness before?
Yeah. What, you didn't grow up on this planet? What, are you from Krypton? Jor-El used to get a boner. Hey, you know what would have been really good? I thought you were going to say that the priest came on Maury's show and then had sex with Maury. Which would have been wild. That would have been a good show.
Because, what was funny was he was sitting there in the whole collar and everything.
Yeah.
And he was holding hands with this woman. He married her.
Maury, I must tell you, I am against changing the rules of celibacy. I've been a priest for 47 years now, and it has upheld the very fabric of the church. Maury, wait a second. Look at you in that golf shirt. Tie. I have never broken my vow of celibacy before. But you look so angry in your gray hair and golf club shirt.
With your collar turned up.
And then Maury would make love to the priest, and then he could go on Donahue.
He could do all the talk shows.
I
get the cover of People magazine.
I met Maury on his show, and he let me tie him up with my rosary beads.
What accent are you doing?
It's a little Scotty from Star Trek. It's a little bit Count Dracula from, of course, Bram Stoker's Dracula. I don't know. It's all over the place.
The number of bodies linked to Joel Rifkin now hovers between 13 and 14, Howard. And as soon as he hit the number 13, he broke a record. He is now the worst serial killer ever in New York State.
Told you he was. Told you he'd do it.
The title was previously held by Arthur Shawcross, who was sentenced to 250 years in jail in 1991 for killing 11 women in the Rochester area. Bringing that title back into the, New York metro area.
I like when they show Mrs. Rifkin on the news.
Oh, they have constant pictures of her now. She's a celebrity.
And she's going in and out of the house every minute. Mrs. Rifkin, that's Joel's mother.
She can't stay inside. They say that he took that victim that he had in the truck the day they caught him.
Yeah.
He had her stashed in the garage somewhere for a few days.
Mrs. Rifkin, are you all right?
Oh, I'm in shock. Oh, my son Joe. Oh.
He was on the track team in high school, And he seemed like an average student.
Oh, he was wonderful.
And he seems like he was,
And he liked to work in the garden with her.
He was into horticulture. And then I found out he was burying whores. Oh.
We got to get an interview with her.
We really would like to talk to her.
Yes.
They did get a hold of the video store where Joel used to go buy videos or rent videos, and they say that he liked to rent videos about prostitutes as well.
No, he didn't. He was good. I thought the stink in the garage was his farts.
You thought the stink in the garage was his fart?
Yeah.
You didn't know it was dead bodies?
No. Joel. Oh.
He must have cut some terrible cheese if he could mistake the two.
Some bad cheese, Joel. Oh, Joel, you got a problem. What, you've gotten pores in the kitchen? No. I thought you was in gas.
Joel. Oh, well.
It's not Ma, it's chili.
He rented porno movies about hookers.
Yeah.
According to the manager of a Uniondale video store.
Hey, we tried calling that video store.
He never looked you in the eye, according to the guy who...
They stole that idea from us.
Yeah. We called too early. They went at the right time. He rented love stories and Mel Gibson type stories.
Mel Gibson was Joel's favorite.
Gibson was his favorite video. Love stories with Mel Gibson.
But he also liked those porno movies with the hookers.
No, he didn't.
You're wrong, Rob. Mrs. Rifkin says you're wrong.
He didn't. He never... Oh, stop it, all of you.
You just want Joel home
I
with
want
you.
him home. I said, Joel, you stay out late. Women are missing. The bodies in the garage smell horrible. Have you been hanging around with that Fred Norris again?
Well, they say that his mother and his sister brought him some change of clothing yesterday. So that he could
Wear
freshen
these,
up.
Darling. Wear these nice new clothes. Get out of your horticulture outfit, that white outfit that he always had on.
That's his horticulture outfit, huh, Mrs. Rifkin?
No wonder he asked for a shovel for Christmas. Oh.
They still haven't gotten up to the number 17 yet, but they say they expect more to come, and they could even surpass that number.
No.
So we're still trying to figure out exactly where that record will rest on how many bodies.
He was adopted, you know.
Yes, he was.
Oh, he was.
So, maybe look up his real parents. Maybe they were mass murderers.
I'm sure they don't want to find him now. They don't want to be found.
Gentle boy. Burying things.
Can you imagine they contact the real parents?
See who they are.
Yeah, I'm sure they're nuclear physicists.
Well, didn't I tell you about the time I saw this guy? He was a rapist.
Yeah, and he was adopted. And
he was adopted, and when he went to find his father was a rapist.
Yeah.
Isn't that eerie?
Yeah, that is.
Good stock.
I mean, he was an infant when he was adopted, so it wasn't like he had been around this man at all and committed the same crime.
That's weird. Weird stuff.
John DeBella.
Who?
John DeBella.
Yeah.
My other son.
Oh, stop.
He tried to invent a new flower. Frosted tulips. He was a gardener.
All right, shut up, Mrs. Rifkin. Billy Rifkin.
The richest family is the Walton family. Those are the Walmart people. They have about $25.3 billion to their credit. And then second in the family category is the Mars family, the candy bar people, with about $9.2 billion.
Hey, Fred, the Mars family.
But they say that most of the billionaires now are being made in Mexico or in Eastern Asia.
See.
So that's where you want to go if you're
my friend,
to become a billionaire.
Are you a billionaire?
See.
And you say you were in the Navy? That's how you made all you were in shipping?
See.
And you went out to where?
Sea.
Sea. You went out to the sea and you made your money?
See.
And your name?
See.
Your name is C?
CC.
No, CC.
CC Sai.
All right, thank you.
And did you hear about the little boy who was eaten by the alligator?
See.
Mm-hmm.
See, he did. Okay.
Hey, what's
10-year-old boy.
What's the last letter on the alphabet?
Z.
Right. It's the only way you get him to stop saying C. All right, you were saying about the 10-year-old boy.
10-year-old boy down in Florida with his family. They were in the Loxahatchee River. Most of the family was in a canoe, but he got out of the canoe. Little Bradley got out of the canoe to wade a little while. And the next thing they knew, people were screaming that an alligator had gotten someone.
Why is Fred playing a lion sound effect?
I don't know.
I was waiting for a lion story.
Fred to me.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard an alligator?
No.
They sound an awful lot like a lion.
Well, the alligator grabbed the kid by the head and held him underwater for a long time. Is that how alligators get
Yes,
you?
yes.
They
Jackie,
hold you underwater?
grab Fred by the head.
And hold him underwater. So everybody started beating the alligator with paddles and so forth, and they finally got it to release the little boy, but it was too late.
Yeah, he was gone.
I don't know why he was out there wading in the water, especially in water where alligators live.
He was like Indiana Jones, the kid.
Why do you say that?
Well, you know, he took chances. He was an adventurer.
I see. Well, sometimes it doesn't pay.
Times will change.
I like the music.
And your oppression will end.
Bend over.
But if you're a man, be safe, be brave, and above all, be proud to be a boy lover.
Yeah.
In either case,
Only in America.
Again, best time is in the evening between 8:30 to 10:30.
Unless a young boy is with me, and then I would have to say that is not a good
He
time.
restricts all boys at that time.
Yeah, 8:30, 10:30 is okay, because usually I'm finished up. I got a date with Dennis the Menace in about 2 hours.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I don't know. Got a tough call there.
Stevie. Oh, boy. Please call between the hours of 8 and 10. Because at 11 I wash my fingers after a day of young boys.
So anyway, yesterday they talked to some of the military leaders about the president's plan to see how they felt about it. Here's General Colin Powell.
I am very, very pleased with this decision of the president, and it's one we can fully support.
There you go. Spoken like a true general.
That's right, which means they're going to
begrudgingly take it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the gays, as you pointed out earlier, very upset. They feel that they've been
Be proud.
betrayed by the president. Here is Tom Stoddard, who is the...
Rear Admiral?
No, he's the head of the campaign for gays in military service.
The president could have lifted up the conscience of the country. He could have fulfilled the country's yearning for moral leadership. Instead, he acceded without even a fight to the stereotypes and prejudices he himself disparaged.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then.
So, what's his problem? I was too busy making noises.
He's upset. He thinks that the president should have stood fast and gone for the entire...
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just ruin his whole administration.
lifting of the ban, and he feels betrayed by the president. Here's a lesbian, Shannon Devies, who was at a rally in Sacramento, California yesterday.
Now, this is her playing the bugle with her tuchus, right? Is this, you have that? The tape of that?
I don't have that tape. Do you have that tape?
Yes, I have it.
Anyway, she's upset with the president as well.
What a stupid, stupid holiday. 4th of July with stupid firecrackers. I have neighbors, grown men, who stand there and light off these stupid
things. They do it all the time. They love it.
Idiots. Imbeciles.
I don't know what the big blast is, what it is that they get.
I don't understand
from
it.
Hearing the noise and seeing the rocket go off.
It's like a 2-year-old. It really is like a 2-year-old.
But I could just imagine somebody going to see their neighbors light some fireworks and the rack falls over and the rockets shoot directly at them. I would love to see that.
I have to admit, when I was like 5 years old, I thought it was kind of cool to light a firecracker and watch a water bug explode or see a tin can go up in the air. But I really have gotten over it. I've actually
You're
matured.
out of that stage now?
Yeah, I'm actually out of it. Well, my kids like to look at it.
Yeah, that's a good excuse.
And then they give these firecrackers names. They actually name them.
Yeah.
What was the one? Nigger chasers?
Nigger chasers.
Nigger
Cherry
chasers.
bombs, nigger chasers.
Nigger chasers.
It's a wonderful country we live in. Oprah, you're right.
Yeah. I need a black editor. Nigger chasers. What are the nigger chasers? Those are the ones that fly along the bottom of the ground.
No, they just run around, in a circle.
Yeah. Right. But what else do they call nigger chasers? Seriously, no. The nigger chasers are the...
Chinese chasers.
No. Come on. What?
No.
The bottle rocket's a bottle rocket.
Right. Cherry bomb is a cherry bomb.
The nigger chaser is the one you leave on the ground, you light the bottom, and
it goes...
And it goes scooting around in a circle.
And everybody leaps up because it could go anywhere.
Right. Leaps up.
I'm serious.
Oh, goodness, what a world, what a world.
You know, Jackie has the largest collection of nigger chasers?
Yeah, that's why he knows so much. He'll be setting them off on 4th of July in his backyard.
Nigger chasers, wop poppers, chick deacons. All right. Giddy runners.
We had another episode where an unlicensed driver caused an accident, killing some people. This time, one of the victims was his own 4-year-old daughter. And this is not funny, Jackie.
You got some sense of humor, pal.
That was not a joke.
He can't stop himself from laughing. You know, a man was meant to be like running packs like wolves. And now, because of the Industrial Revolution, man has become a solo unit. Every man feels alone. Back in the old days, a man would go hunting with the tribe, while the wife would stay with the other women and bang rocks. And
well, they would collect the grain and set, they would have the corn in the little thing, and they'd be separating it, and they'd do the laundry down by the river.
And knit little loincloths.
Oh, yeah, quilting bees and all that.
Quilting bees. And man felt he had a purpose in life. Man felt that he would never be abandoned. He belonged to a group. Now, everyone is under incredible pressure, and they occasionally pop. Even I know, I work for a company, but I don't feel like that company's behind me. I'm on my own. I'm one person by myself who has to feed his family.
Yeah, but you run in this pack.
That's the crap pack. Do you feel like Jackie wouldn't abandon you in 3 seconds?
I know, he's gone now.
There you go.
There's not even a crisis he's left us.
Yeah. He leaves under any circumstance.
See ya! I'm out of here. Ship is sinking. Bye.
The point is that man cracks because of it. Man was really meant to grow up in a tribe, learn...
But 2 months ago, you laughed at the tribes. Now you're saying you should all be in one.
That's right. I'm very inconsistent. Man would even share wives. Do you know that?
No. Where'd that happen?
Right here.
The Kathmandu tribe of... I don't know. It's just...
Do you miss your tribe?
No, I'm just saying that there's no tribalism anymore.
Do you feel... well, I talk to you about this all the time. You're constantly telling me to abandon my fellow man.
Yeah, well, no, I feel very alone. I don't know about you, but I feel very alone.
But when I say to you, Howard, you have to reach out and help another human being.
No, I never do that.
You have to go and sort of adopt one of these indigent families.
No, I won't do that.
Help them improve. See, you immediately say, nope, stay to yourself, keep to your own.
I have to do that because...
Close your doors.
It's every man for himself.
Why do you live that way?
Man has to.
Well, either he meant to run with the pack or he wasn't.
Yeah, you see, your problem is everyone. I want to wait for someone to come and help me.
You don't.
I'm not looking to help anybody else.
You don't need any help.
One is the loneliest number. All right, what else you got, Robin? Come on, I can't describe everything in detail.
I thought you were going to tell me the answer to all this.
No. Man is an island surrounded by gators and sharks, ready to be eaten. Don't you feel alone, Billy? Seriously. No, but be serious. No, I mean, don't you feel alone? I mean, even though you have a wife and stuff, you're still alone. You're the guy responsible.
With your wife, you don't feel like you have a partner?
No, my wife hasn't provided in years.
No, I go out and I like to walk around, but a lot of my friends are too busy. I feel like I can't share.
You're alone. You're alone.
I'm alone.
You're out of your parents. You can't turn to your parents for help.
My mother's a nut. Doesn't know anything.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Hey, no one wants to get into it, man.
Yeah, he's really getting serious.
Yeah. Why don't you go sleep on a highway divider? It's that bad.
Because I don't feel alone. I feel I'm a part of everyone.
Good. You might be a part of Brandford Marsalis when you get out to Los Angeles. Lickety split.
I ain't gonna share you with no one.
You part of a tribe now.
You're my tribe.
The Brandford tribe.
Well, We all breathe the same air, Howard. We're all sharing molecules. Might as well get used to it. Also in the news, Howard.
Hello, baby.
Yes, he talks just like that.
Well, when he's off the air, probably talks black.
Hello, baby.
Oh, hi, Troy. It's Robin.
I wouldn't recognize
I'd recognize
him.
your silky smooth voice
I
anyway.
wouldn't recognize him if he spoke like that.
Well, guess what? Good news just happened to me, baby. Well, I just got appointed head Engelman. This time the big bopper speaking.
Oh, Troy, I knew you'd be a success ever since you met me, Robin Quivers, like Quivers.
Like Quivers, you's a great woman. And I love you. And now that I'm an Engelman, I'm fit to be seen with you. When I was a lowly Long Island reporter, I was nothing. Now, let me tell you something. You're a great woman, and I want to go out with you.
Oh, Troy, take me to Last Action Hero and feel me up.
Oh, will you let me go on? I have
your
news
sweet
to do.
ass, I'll do that to you. I love your two floppies.
I have news to do.
I love you.
Now, I said I love your floppies, woman. Now, what did that mean to you?
Why, Troy, are you asking me to be Mrs. Robin?
Jeez.
Robin,
Now you're stuck, aren't
what's his
you?
last name?
I'm not helping.
Troy. Are you asking me to be Robin, Troy? Whatever?
No,
Roberts?
that sounds nice. It's got a ring to it. Wow.
Are you finished?
Why don't we go get some to eat for dinner, woman, and discuss our future nuptials?
Oh, God.
You
You
sound so
can't
different.
talk to anybody without having plans to get married, huh?
You sound different over the TV than you do on the phone.
Cause this is my love voice. I done wants to lick your voluptuous body.
Please. Enough
with the peaches
already.
and
I want to
champagne.
talk to you about Stephen Botko's new TV show.
And I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about us.
I want to talk to Howard,
And
not
our
Troy.
future together. Don't you want to do a newscast with an Anchorman? Come on, peaches and champagne, smoochy lips.
All right, what else you got there?
Troy.
Oh, man. Yes. Troy Bochco.
No, Stephen Bochco, the guy who did Hill Street Blues,
Yes.
he's back with a new TV show.
Right.
And this one proves as controversial as anything he's ever done on TV. They say that he shows a lot of skin and there's a lot of frank language.
Really?
He's trying to push the boundaries of television again, Howard.
Yeah, well, I've tried to push the boundaries, and I'll tell you something, it's a lonely road.
Yeah, they slam doors in your face all the time.
It's a lonely road.
What they say is that a lot of stations, you know, the affiliate stations are a little bit concerned about the content of the program. They don't want to say they aren't going to carry the program at all, but they want a review on a show-by-show basis to determine if, you know, something's a little too rough for their particular vicinity.
Why don't I come over to your place tonight and we watch that show? Maybe with all that controversy, we'll get wild.
It's not on tonight.
You don't seem to shy away from controversy yourself, woman. You're working with Howard.
I'm going to talk about Roseanne and Tom now.
Hold on, I'll go get Howard.
Yes?
Roseanne and Tom Arnold
How was that?
jumped agencies not too long ago.
Oh, I thought you were going to say jumped off a cliff, and I was going to go, yeah. All
No,
right.
they haven't done that yet.
Yep.
It's interesting to me that, you know Ron Perlman, he's the guy who is heir to the, what is it, the Revlon fortune?
Yeah, and wasn't he Beast on Beauty and the Beast?
No, he was not. That's a different guy.
All right, go ahead.
This guy was the guy who was married to Claudia Cohen,
Yeah.
who's the gossip on the Regis and Kathy Lee show.
She used to be kind of cute. She got real ugly. I think that's why I dumped her.
When did you think she was cute?
A couple of years ago, she was okay.
Really?
Yeah,
she
she was
hasn't
bad.
changed that much of his.
Yeah, she looked pretty good to me.
Well, see, I just don't know these.
I got weird taste.
I guess so. Well, anyway, according to Cindy Adams, she's going to get $80 million.
Yes. So is she going to give up that stupid Regis Philbin show?
Well, she didn't the whole time she was living with him. She had all his money.
$80 million. You got to marry Ron Perlman.
I was going to say, that's worth it.
It is. You don't make yourself available to the right people. You're busy with Anchorman.
Worth it. I'm not.
Did you go
busy
after
with
Ron
anyone.
Perlman?
I'm going to go after him. He'd better watch out.
Hello, Robin. I just want to say one thing. Don't you leave me for that Ron Perlman. Now, I'm going to come over tonight, and I'm going to have us a special love night there, Beauty Buns.
Beauty buns.
That's right. That's my name for you. I'm going to bring some Colt 45 and chips Beauty Buns, and we're going to have some fun.
This is the last time I tell you about any of my friends.
When you kiss me, my whole body done catch fire. Marry me, you heaven-chested angel. I'll help you spend all them bucks you earn on that show. Marry me, you heaven-chested angel. Now, say I do.
That you said, oh, I know the winning formula. I'll drink, I'll get high, and then I'll write great music. So it really did matter to you whether you were successful or not. You weren't sort of a happy-go-lucky guy. Maybe it was a reaction to, oh, my God, maybe this will be the secret to my success. You were really hungry for success.
Very subtly.
Yeah.
All of that stuff convinces you that you can't do anything without it.
Right.
And it's got you.
You think that's it?
Yeah.
It's that simple?
Yeah.
You don't think it was your relationship with your parents? I mean, I don't know what it was like for you living at home.
Geez, I don't know. You know, every case is different. If you grew up in an alcoholic family, chances are you're going to be alcoholic.
Your mom and dad were alcoholics?
There's always that at different times, yeah.
Right. So when you see drinking as part of the family life, it doesn't seem like such a bad thing to be doing.
When I grew up, it was the 50s, and we would have these family picnics, and everybody drank.
Including you.
My aunts drank, my uncles drank, my cousins drank. If you were an adult, adults drank.
Right.
That was just the norm when I was a kid. And it occurred to me that my whole family probably has been rip-roaring drunk for the last 500 years.
Right.
That was just the norm.
How hard was it for you to get sober?
Hardest thing I ever did.
Yeah, and now you're happy, right? I hear reports on you, because I care about you, and when I hear you're so happy now, I really do get happy for you, because, you know, think about all your contemporaries. A lot of guys died who were even less fucked up than
you. A lot
you.
of guys we know aren't around anymore.
Yeah. Who you thinking about that didn't make it? I'm thinking
Bellucci.
Kennison. Right. And
Keith Moon.
And it's kind of sad, too, because if you get that second chance, if you live long enough and you kind of get sober, you go, oh, wow, you think about those guys. They were cut down in their prime.
Yeah.
And do you think music... See, I happen to think you're one of the greatest guitar players, and I'm not saying it because you're here, but I do. I think the riffs and the songs you came up with were brilliant, especially James Gang stuff, and then when you went to the Eagles, I felt you really improved that band like tenfold. But yet, do you think... when it comes to, I don't know, the rock and roll intelligentsia, or whoever they are, but do you think, or critics, do you think, such a thing? Yeah, do you think you get criticized, or you're not thought of right up there in the upper echelon because your past behavior, because you were so drunk and so outrageous? Do you think that your legend got kind of knocked down to a degree? Were you taken less seriously?
I'm not really concerned with that.
But you are. Because you're the guy who sat there and drank, because you destroyed your own body because you thought that was the formula for success. So you do care about your place in history, right? Musically.
Yeah, but I'm not done yet.
No, I know you're not. But I'm saying, I don't, when I see the list in Rolling Stone of the top 10 guitarists in the world.
Joe's not on it?
Yeah, and I don't quite know why. You really are. Do you still practice your guitar every day?
Yeah.
It's that important to you?
I try and play every day, yeah.
Is it true you take guitar lessons to this day? That you still take guitar lessons?
I'll sit down with somebody, yeah. I'll sit down with somebody and ask them, how in the world do you play that? Like Brad Paisley.
Right.
I'll sit down with him and say, hey, man.
Why is that? Because you can't figure out how he did that?
Well, probably, but it saved me 5 or 6 hours if I just ask him.
But does anyone ever come to you and say, hey, Joe, teach me how to play? Teach me how to do that?
Not really, but
does that bother you? Bothers me. You're the guy who should be giving guitar lessons, not getting guitar lessons.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Who does he think is the greatest?
Who are your heroes musically? I've never asked you that. You were always too drunk. Couldn't get a straight answer out of you. Do you have musical heroes?
No, I had heroes then. They were just different ones.
Jim Beam.
Yeah.
Seriously, who are your heroes?
Well, the guy that's the grandfather of us all is Les Paul.
Right. The guy who really invented the guitar, the electric guitar, right?
The pickup and echo and multi-track recording.
Did you get to know him?
I knew Les, yeah.
Yeah. Were you happy with the inventions and what he did to the guitar? Because you're a guy who, in your new album, you talk about analog, man. You can't stand all the new technology. It's kind of like, I'm just a regular guy. I don't know from all this technology.
Well, I'm not against it. I'm not an old analog fart who came out of the woods.
Right.
I don't think analog's better. It's just, you got to admit.
But you're upset with technology. You don't like now in the Eagles that your fellow Eagle members sit in a studio and they use all these Pro Tools and everything else. It actually slows down the music-making process.
It changes it.
It makes it more complicated.
Easier. Here's two things it does, okay?
Okay.
One is you can fix anything.
Which is
bad.
Bad, I think.
Temptation to fix everything.
You lose the soul of the music, don't you?
If we'd have had Pro Tools when we were doing Hotel California, we'd still be working on Hotel California.
Because what you're saying is Hotel California has imperfections, so to speak. And those imperfections are kind of the cool things about it.
Human.
And so when you get in the studio now with the Eagles, they sit and go, wait a second, that note's just a little bit out of tune or it's a little bit off. Let's fix it.
We've always been like that to some degree.
Right.
But the great temptation with Pro Tools is to go ahead and fix everything when you don't need to.
Do you have enough of a voice in that band? I know you've got to sort of watch your P's and Q's with some of the band members, but do you have enough of a voice in that band to say, guys, stop. We're in a studio. What made us great, why Hotel California works, is because there are mistakes on it. It's not a perfect piece of music. Nothing is.
Well,
but it's real.
I wouldn't single out the Eagles.
You say they all do it.
Everybody does it.
But you are in the Eagles.
It's a hazard of Pro Tools. It's a hazard of digital technology. There's one other thing I want to say.
Yeah.
The temptation with digital technology is to start with a drum machine.
Right.
That's virtual.
Yes.
And put that down. And then build up the track with virtual instruments, which are all in the computer, and build up the thing like a kit.
And it never sounds quite as good.
No. In the old days, you got some guys in a room, you mic'd them, and you pushed record, and you got the performance.
Right, and isn't there something that comes out of that performance when a guy's sitting there, a drummer live, and all of a sudden he goes, wait a second, I have an idea. What if I hit it this way? Or you go, wait, I got a better riff. Or something. That's the magic of being in a studio with a bunch of guys.
That's rock and roll from 1954 to 1962.
But when you recorded the last Eagles album, and by the way, the album did well. I mean, there was an experiment, too. You sold it through Walmart, and it sold really, really well. And this is a tough day and age to sell music.
Yeah.
So the experience for you was not the same. Were you all in the studio at the same time, or was it all done with building it up one at a time?
There's a temptation.
Right.
To do it that way.
Do you put up a protest in the band, or you just go along with the flow?
I go along with the flow. We do it various ways depending on what we're trying to accomplish.
Is it liberating now that you have a solo record out because you don't have to deal with the, I'm not going to call it nonsense, but the politics of the Eagles? Is it a liberating experience for you to go in and do it your way?
It's, what do I say? Yeah, but I mean, for all of us, I mean, Don's down in Nashville
doing his own thing,
recording. Glenn made an album.
But for you get to do it your way now.
I get to do it my way, yeah.
Is there a part of you that goes, I'll show these fucking guys how an album should be made?
Nah.
Never.
Nah.
There's no anger there, no bitterness.
Nah.
Have you given up all your friends from the old days? In other words, you used to come in with a boatload of characters that were hanging around. I'm talking about the days when you got
my entourage.
You had an entourage of guys who could drink you under the table. You know, there was the bass player, Rick the bass player. Are you done with those guys? Are they bad influences, so to speak, on you, or triggers for you?
Well, Rick's exempt.
Right.
He plays with Neil Young now.
Yes.
He's cleaned up. He's doing great.
That's good.
For him.
Yeah. You have to change all your friends.
I know.
You have to.
Yeah, or else you get sucked into the vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were another one. We felt like we were the friends that got, and we never did all that stuff with you.
Yeah,
But
we were good
for a
influence.
while, you didn't come see us.
Yeah, were we part of the problem?
Someone stole my identity, Robbie.
Yeah. You know, when I was thinking about you, there was a great... I know you're happily married now. You've been married, what, 3 years?
3 years.
Oddly enough, to Ringo Starr's sister-in-law?
No.
Wait,
Yeah,
your wife, your wife is...
Are you sure? Do you know who you're married to?
Wait a second. Ringo?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, who are you married to?
My wife is the little sister of Ringo's wife.
Barbara
Ringo,
Bach?
right.
Yes.
And you are now happily married.
It's the part of me that was missing.
Because I remember you in the old days. You know, listen, you were high, and women were commodities. You used a lot of women, and they used you. I mean, it was a mutual use. They used you for your fame and your money and your power.
Well, sometimes I think Joe forgot when he was on the road that he had another woman somewhere.
Right. But did you have a whole epiphany about women? Like that changed your attitude toward women too?
Well, the first thing that you can't do when you try to get sober is have a relationship.
Right. They say that's the worst thing.
Yeah. So I did that for a while.
You did?
You did all the wrong stuff.
You sabotaged your recovery by being in a relationship with a woman during it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that didn't work good.
So they're right about that.
Yeah.
These people know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It didn't work good because she becomes your drug, right?
Or a reason to drink.
Ah. In other words, you'd start fighting with a woman, the relationship gets too heated up, you haven't worked on yourself enough, and then boom, everything goes kablooey and you need a drink.
Women are a great reason to drink. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Probably just any relationship with anybody is a reason to drink.
Yeah. Like Joe's so charming, nothing could be a problem about
Well, you know what? I think like Joe, I have problems with everybody, so I think anyone would make me drink.
There you go.
Man or woman.
There you go.
So,
Congratulations on your marriage, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I'm glad we're both happy.
Yeah, no, very, very happy.
Yeah.
I really am. I mean, I understand what you say.
To get a real partner.
Yes.
You know?
And to feel good about that situation is remarkable.
And it's the part of me that was missing.
But don't you think it's the change in you that allows you to have that with a woman?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to grow up.
I couldn't have had any relationship like I was.
Did you go back and say to any of the women you were with, and I'm sure you hurt some women and some women hurt you, but did you go back? Even remember, you used to have the great joke, my ex-wife plaintiff.
Yeah, did you call plaintiff?
Did you ever call plaintiff and say,
which one?
Any of them.
I made amends to a lot of people.
You did?
Yeah.
And was that hard?
No.
Once you do it, does it unlock something in you? Like, does it open up your heart?
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
And so you would call, did you call your ex-wives?
Mm-hmm.
And you said to them, look, I'm sorry I put you through hell. I'm sorry I did
sorry I put you through hell.
Were they all receptive to that, or did some of them say, you know what, Joe, fuck yourself?
There was both. Both of those. Some people say, I understand. I'm glad you're sober. Some people say, up yours.
And some people say, I don't believe you. In other words,
the important thing is me.
You said it.
I'm better for it.
Right. And what is it? If it's a phone call or a meeting, and you go there and you confess to them that you were shit or whatever, you were confused.
Yeah, you look them in the eye and you tell them, hey, I was really a bad person to you, and I regret it, and I'm sorry.
Wow. Boy,
that's heavy.
That's hard.
It's heavy, but I mean, that's part of recovery. Because you live in all that garbage. You constantly, even now, everybody goes into the past and digs around in a pile of stuff.
Right.
And you look for something to be mad about.
Right.
You look for something to get in a bad mood about, and you attach an emotion to it. And then you're in a bad mood, and none of that exists.
All that anger is in you.
Yeah. If you clear that out by making amends, you stand a chance.
Right. Well, it's a tough... I tell you what, that is not an easy assignment.
Has he decided to have more children?
No, you're not having more kids, are you?
No, I have lots.
Yeah. I remember,
How many kids?
I saw you, one of your daughters, on a TV show. Lucy. She's a very talented girl.
Yeah.
She wants to make it in the music business.
She's also acting. She's pretty serious about acting.
Good-looking girl, too.
Yeah, she's nice.
Yeah. And then I saw they got you on the show, too. They schlepped you out. I was like, oh, poor Joe.
Well, I showed up for her.
Yeah, right, I know. I knew you didn't want to be there, man. I was just watching it. I go, oh, my God.
Me and Dee Snider.
Yeah, you guys are all on there.
We showed up for our kids.
But
I know what that show was.
Yeah. I enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
But it was the kids of rock stars who show up, and they had a competition.
Yeah.
So, but you see these competition shows. That's not the way to really make it. I'm a judge on one of these shows.
I know you are. How's that going?
I love it. But I tell everyone. In fact,
Thank
I don't
God
know.
you are.
Well, you don't want to know something? In Vegas, I tell these guys, I don't know if they're going to show it. They don't show everything I say. But I said to them, you got to remember, a lot of hard work goes into it. When I saw them fucking off or doing something weird, I'd say, I know musicians. And these guys work their ass off. They might look happy-go-lucky, but how many hours did you spend in your life not only sitting alone in a room with the guitar, but also going out on the road and playing in front of people and learning that, even if you're playing in front of two people, life can really suck and it's not that easy. I mean, there's a lot of hard years. There's no quick fix, right?
It's your 10,000 hours.
Your 10,000 hours. And you put them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have, too.
Yeah, I mean, we all do.
You used to sell mattresses.
I did. I still do. I was shocked to learn, though, in your life, one of the great romances was Stevie Nicks of Fleetwood Mac. And this was kept on the down low, even during your whacked out years.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
But she says you were the love of her life and probably still are. What, is she one of those people you had to call and make amends to? Wow.
She's special.
She was in love. One of the greatest songwriters ever, right? Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
No?
Well,
am I wrong?
I mean, songwriters, in the big picture, all of us from the 70s are memorable and notable, but I mean, the greatest songwriters are like guys from the 30s and 40s. And
do you really believe that? You don't believe Jimi Hendrix was a great songwriter? Paul Simon?
Yeah. Okay.
You don't consider yourself a great songwriter?
Well, I don't think it's fair to say one of the best ever to anybody.
But what a powerful couple. But Stevie Nicks and Joe Walsh.
Stevie's very high on the list.
Were you in love with her?
Did they write together?
I don't know. Did you guys ever write together?
She helped me do the Confessor album.
No kidding.
She rode shotgun with me on that one and gave me some direction. And she's really good at the craft of songwriting.
Which means what? Sitting down and really putting a pen to paper and actually trying to figure out the lick and all that?
Left to my own devices, I will have 85 pieces of paper with a couple words on each.
Right.
And people like her and my wife Marjorie now help me get 85 words on one piece of paper.
How do they help you do that? I mean, you're a songwriter. It's a creative process for you. How do they focus you to take all those 85 slips of paper and combine them into a song?
Well, my wife is a closer. That's what she does. When I say it's the part of me that was missing, I got a little attention deficit.
Right.
But in the 50s, that wasn't diagnosed. You were just difficult.
Right.
But I got it.
Yeah.
I see that in one of my sons. I learned about it, and I had it screaming in the 50s.
It's one of those things that affects you where you can't keep your mind on one thing.
You can't complete tasks. I have a great idea, fantastic idea, and I get it started, and wait a minute, I have another idea. So there it sits.
You know, I'm reading a book about this. It's called Get Things Done.
Yeah.
Do you ever read this book?
No.
I've just started reading it. I just learned about it.
Yeah, so I have great ideas lying all over the place.
And what do you do? Do you speak into a little tape recorder? And how does the songwriting process go for Joe Walsh personally? Would you be fucking around with your guitar You start to, you know, pick at a few notes and go, that's cool? Or do you hear the song in your head first? You once told me years ago, you always have a song in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how do you get it out physically? Because don't you go, oh, my God, this is good. I don't want to lose this. What do you do? What's the first thing you do? So you don't forget it.
Well, you can carry around a little recorder.
Do you do that?
And put ideas down. When I remember to, yeah.
Because you need a giant inbox, so to speak. And then, but by that I mean, you need a place that whenever you get an idea, you just put it in there so you don't have to sit and worry. Didn't that worry you when you had a great hook or something and you'd say, oh, shit, I can't forget it, I can't, or you didn't care?
It depends. When I was wasted, I would write it down, except in the morning, it didn't make any sense.
Okay, a song like Life's Been Good So Far. You know, Life's Been Good So Far. You're standing around one day. Do you hear the words first or the music?
Usually the music.
The music.
Yeah.
You heard
it's real abstract, and I think it's the same for all of us. You hear an idea, and it's kind of a symmetry.
So
that
did you
hear?
So when you say you heard an idea, symmetry, was it like? Yeah.
As a matter of fact, yeah.
That's what you heard.
Yeah.
And then you go, I don't know what the fuck to do with that.
Well, you go, okay, there's something.
Right. Now, what do you do with that? You go over to a tape recorder and you go.
I kind of have a place in my head
that it goes
with different drawers.
Really? And you retain this?
Yeah.
I wonder
I'm wondering, why don't you think this is something you've heard before? You know, like you're humming somebody else's tune.
I'm amazed that I would sit there and think how many songs he forgot that are in that drawer.
Well, think of how many songs never got written that people had. Yeah. Robin, you're right. Whatever you just said, I forgot.
Yeah, sometimes you think it's something you heard.
Yeah, right. Well, that's where you go, aha.
Right.
You mess around with old blues licks, and you mess around, and you realize, boy, this is fantastic. Oops. Except it's a Hendrix lick. And you think, oh, well, start again. But once in a while, you get a nibble.
Did you ever meet Hendrix?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you ever get to play with him?
Not live.
Not live.
Backstage.
You went backstage. Where was this?
Youngstown, Ohio.
Back in the early 70s?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're, what, doing a concert?
Yeah.
James Gang concert at that point?
James Gang, Hendrix, and Sly and the Family Stone.
All on the same bill.
Wow. Well, remember in those days?
Wow, yeah.
You had 3 headliners on a show.
And who opened that show?
We did.
The James Gang.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What a show.
Yeah.
And then Sly and the Family Stone, and then I guess Hendrix.
Well, Sly never came out of his dressing room.
Yeah, right. But there's another guy. I mean, he's a difficult guy, right? He's had his problems.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever came out of them like you
Still
did.
going through it, yeah.
I don't think he made it.
No. Do you ever see him around?
No.
No. He's like a recluse.
There's been Sly sightings, but...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him on some award show or something.
Yeah, but a few months ago, we were reading that he was in a trailer parked outside somebody's house.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God you didn't go that route.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And does that give you the shakes at night sometimes? You go, shit, I could have really, really fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I am so grateful to be alive and sober.
So Hendrix is backstage. And what happened?
He's backstage. We're in a like dressing room.
No.
Which is like where a hockey team changes or something, you know.
Not glamorous.
So yeah, right. And he's there, and I finish, and we finish, and we're in the same dressing room. So he's sitting playing his guitar, and I come in with mine.
Right.
And
you have a jam session, so to speak.
A little bit. Yeah. I showed him my guitar, and he showed me his.
Do you get intimidated by a guy like that?
Nah, he was a wonderful guy. Of course, I'm intimidated.
By his talent, I mean.
By him. He had an aura. I mean, he had feathers on. I mean, it was terrifying.
Well, you talk about that. I read that Clapton and a bunch of other guys at the time who were considered top guitarists all went to see Jimi Hendrix when he first came on the scene. They went to a club and they all looked at each other and they went, shit, we don't even really play
what the hell
guitar.
are we doing?
What are we doing? That was the famous story.
Generally thought by the community. Yeah, what the hell are we doing?
Did you feel that way?
Yeah,
you did when you played with. When you played with him, did he say, "Oh wow, Joe, maybe we should get together in the studio and do something together," or it never got that far?
No, never got that far. But he showed me his guitar, and I paid attention to how the heavy strings, light strings,
right.
How high are the strings? What's the action? Because he was a tough one, because he was left-handed.
Right.
So everything was backwards. That's why he sounded like that. None of us right-handed guitar players could do what he was doing.
Was he playing a lefty guitar?
No.
He was playing a right-handed guitar
upside
with his
down.
Upside down. Oh, wow.
That's why he sounded like that.
And
that's why we couldn't crack the code.
Oh, my God. That's
See?
fascinating. Yeah.
That's why we were all hitting ourselves in the head.
But that's why you're a great guitar player, because you're a student. You sit there. Those are the guitar lessons you talk about.
Yeah.
Sitting with Jimi Hendrix, it's a master class.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even if it's 3 or 4 minutes.
Right.
And I had a Les Paul, and he looked at that, and he was really, really nice, and just a good guy.
Isn't it weird too? Because Hendrix is, of course, remembered for his music, but also for the excesses, like the drug taking, fucking chicks, getting plaster cast on his dick. It takes away from his legend in a way. It really does.
That's the way it was back then. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
You could get away with a lot of stuff back then that you can't now.
Right.
You probably noticed.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's a whole different universe, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Joe, where do you think rock and roll is going? Speaking of back then and today, there's not rock radio stations.
Boy, Robin, that's a good one,
Is rock dead?
Yeah, I think so, pretty much.
It's pretty dead because there's not a lot of rock and roll radio stations. And we were talking about this on the show the other day. We were talking about that it's almost like, I think Robin said it, that rock and roll is going to be like jazz in a way. It's going to be just this art form that existed and was big, and then some guys will still play it, but it's not going to have.
It's dead, but it's not dead, but it's not number one. Country's number one.
But I never thought I'd see the day that, rock and roll was such a part of my life.
Howard, think of it. That's what Analog Man is all about.
Right. The new album.
The digital technology is nice, but along with it is this virtual world that we all go in more and more.
Yeah.
And it doesn't exist. It's in a computer. It's an illusion. And we sit in chairs. Our bodies sit in chairs for hours waiting for our minds to come back.
Yeah.
I like side B.
Right.
I like cart machines. It's different, man. It's different for us.
Yeah.
And the problem with the digital technology,
right?
It ate the record business.
It did, yeah.
It ate radio.
So you're not on Twitter, are you?
It ate intellectual property.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that drive you crazy as an artist that, a guy who's like you, like a musician who comes up now, they can't even sell a record because everything's out there for free. People don't go and buy DVDs and CDs.
I know.
They rip them off and that. It does seem unfair, right?
People ask me, what advice do you have for the upcoming musician? I don't have any. I'm trying to figure it out, too.
What is your game plan with the new CD? In other words, it's hitting the stores, I think, today, right? Tomorrow, all right? And you have a new single out. But what's the game plan? Can you really... Well, I guess you could go around the country and play these songs. It's almost like starting over. Joe Walsh is one of the biggest names in rock, and yet it's almost like you're starting over again. You got to go out, play for audiences, and introduce them to this music.
It's a fresh start for me.
So what are you going to do? What's the game plan?
Well, the deal with everything is, in lieu of record companies, the way to do it now is the social network. You have to get visible.
Yes.
If you can make people aware that you have a record out, they'll find it.
Right. So your game plan is to use social media and sort of get there. Because like, look at some of the great artists. Paul McCartney just came out with an album. Nobody gave a shit. You know what I mean? Paul McCartney. It's like everyone has an even playing field now. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to bank on your name. It's just that I feel great for guys like you who have an audience already, and you can go out and do a James Gang tour, or you could go do a Joe Walsh tour, or you could do an Eagles tour. So you're fine. Nothing's going to bother you. But when you put out new music like you just have, that's the conundrum. That's the thing that you can't figure out.
You can't assume that you're going to have a hit record.
No.
What's platinum now? 50,000 copies.
That's right. Go make a living doing that.
Woo!
Right. How many records How many records between the Eagles and the James Gang have you sold? And Joe Walsh solo stuff.
I don't know.
You never counted it up?
I lost count after about 85,000. I was counting them on my fingers.
Somebody said, you mean you really don't know, Joe? Isn't that an impressive number to know for yourself and look back and say, you know what, I can reflect on that number?
Probably, but in that category, I'm not really that big of a fish. Look at somebody like Jeff Lynne.
Now, Jeff Lynne produced your new record.
Yeah.
Jeff Lynne was, of course, of Electric Light Orchestra, ELO, and he's a great
that
legendary...
guy sold some records.
Did he?
Yeah.
More than you?
ELO, I think so.
But if you count the Eagles...
Well,
in your
Eagles,
record,
yeah, okay, Eagles.
Eagles are one of the biggest selling bands of all time.
Yeah,
Hotel California,
Hotel
I think...
California
isn't that the
alone.
one album that... I think that's the #1 album for the Eagles ever.
Greatest hits.
Greatest
The
hits.
greatest hit.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
wow.
go back and forth with Michael Jackson.
What's the best song you ever wrote? Seriously, out of all the songs. I don't know if it was Funk 49, Walk Away, I don't know. I could name Rosemary...
Rosewood Bitters?
Rosewood Bitters. Is more, I think, all these great songs. What is the greatest song you ever wrote that you're most proud
The
of?
one you love the most.
Yeah.
Eagles-wise, I co-wrote Life in the Fast Lane with
Great
Don
song.
and Glenn.
Right.
Yeah.
Solo-wise, probably Rocky Mountain Way.
Yeah, what a song. Do you still stop and listen to that on the radio? I mean, it's on the radio all the time on classic rock stations. If you hear it, will you stop and listen to it and go, man, that's a good fucking record? Or will
Who
you
wrote
just
that?
Yeah, will you just tune by and say, I don't want to hear it again?
One of the things that makes it magic is it's a bunch of guys playing in a room.
Right. Rocky Mountain Way.
Yeah.
You're listening to how it was made.
That groove you can't do with Pro Tools.
No. And you remember when you came up with that, or were you so drunk? Like, was that part of your drunken formula where, like, hey, I get really high and I write? Do you remember any of that process of writing that great song?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What was the process on that one?
I was in Colorado.
Right.
I had left the James Gang. I was worried that I might have made a mistake.
It's scary.
Yeah.
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 Because that was a successful entity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we were doing fine.
Why did you leave?
3-piece band. I just got saturated with playing really loud and being like a kick-ass guitar guy.
Right.
Playing through Marshalls and stuff.
Why, you thought on your own you could, tone it down?
I was hearing all these songs like with a piano.
And they didn't want that. The other two guys were against it.
Kinda.
And also your audience demanded you be a certain sound. So if you went to a piano, you were afraid the audience would reject. So you just said, fuck it, I'll leave the whole thing.
Yeah.
Did those guys want to kill you for breaking up something successful?
No.
Did you call to apologize to them when you got sober?
I didn't have to really apologize. I apologized when I quit. I just said, guys, I can't do this. I'm a musician, too.
Yeah.
And I got to go have a look at that.
And so so you were scared, you were in Colorado.
I'm in Colorado, okay. And I have an album done, which was the Barnstorm album. The first solo album I did, and I'm mowing the lawn. And
you were mowing the lawn.
I was mowing the lawn. Yeah,
rock stars mow lawns.
I didn't have any words for Rocky Mountain Way, but we had the track done.
Right.
And I'm just dead in the water about this song. What is it about?
You mean you just hear music? There's no vocal. There's no tune really, except that.
If there were words, I hear where they go.
But you don't have the actual words.
I don't know what they are.
So how do they come to you?
Well, I'm mowing the lawn. I look up, and there's the front range of the Rocky Mountains with snow on them in the summer.
Right.
And it knocked me back because it was just beautiful. And I thought, well, I have committed. I'm in Colorado. It's too late to regret the James Gang. The Rocky Mountain way is better than the way I had because the music was better. And I got the word bam. And he's telling us this, tells us that, changes it every day. That's about the James Gang's manager.
Right.
We don't need the ladies crying because the story's sad. That's giving up the regret of leaving the James Gang. And I got all those words all at once, and I ran into the house to write the words down. And the lawnmower kept going over into the neighbor's yard and ate the garden. It was an expensive song to write, but...
Oh, I got the chills when you tell me that.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I get the chills because that's such a fucking cool process. I wish I had that ability.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Do you have trouble with your neighbors? You had a problem where some neighbor was like stalking you or something, or you had to go to court with the guy, or there was something, he came over with an...
Oh, yeah, that guy.
What happened there?
He finds pieces of property and builds houses on them.
Right.
And they shouldn't really have houses on them.
Right.
But he has friends at City Hall.
Oh.
And,
it's a complicated life.
I was wishing he wasn't doing that.
Right.
So I didn't help him.
I see. He got frustrated with you.
And he got frustrated, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
It's complicated being Joe Walsh sometimes. But now it seems like it's a lot simpler. You got the wife, you're happy.
Oh, it's so much simpler.
Now, let me say that Joe Walsh's new solo album, Analog Man, is in stores tomorrow. Hey, I didn't finish that thought, though, with Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
I mean, you two became this couple, and she says you are the love of her life.
All those songs were about Joe?
Yeah.
She wrote one about me, yeah.
What was the big one about you?
Joe?
Joe just fell asleep.
Yeah.
He's thinking of the name.
I'm trying to I'm embarrassed. I don't
Was it a
remember
Fleetwood Mac song, or was it from one of her solos?
One of her solos.
One of her solo albums?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stand there.
Has anyone ever wrote a song for you?
Hell no. I wish you
No,
would.
that's how the song goes, stupid.
Oh, shit. When are you going to write a song about me? Actually, I got a...
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I got an email from Leslie West. He claims he has an idea. He was thinking of me. He wants to write a song about me. I'm very honored.
That's flattering.
I feel like a hot chick.
Well, you better wait till you hear it first.
Yeah.
Give my best to Leslie.
I will. You know, he lost his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but he's doing well.
Yeah.
He has a great spirit about him.
He's a great guy.
And a great guitar player.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Now, there's a guy that could probably be on Rolling Stone's list.
Yes.
Where the hell's he?
Exactly.
He's not on the list either?
That's right. Well, anyway, the legendary Joe Walsh, who is doing so well, happily married now.
Happily
Very happy
married.
for Joe.
And Ringo is your brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law.
Do
You
you
guys
hang?
get together?
Yeah, we hang.
You do.
Do you sign autographs?
Joe, do you sign on? Because Ringo has stopped signing everything. That was,
I signed his name for him.
You do.
That's why he got me.
Ringo comes over the house, and it's like a family get-together.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. I mean, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah,
He says, sign all these albums for me. I'm done.
You get along with each other?
Very well.
You do.
You know, he's so down to earth, Paul too, for what those guys have been through.
Right.
And the really good positive energy. And in terms of a family, I got this huge family that came along with my wife, and it's a dynamic I'd never been around because they're really close. And learning to be part of is one of the things that has opened me up.
Right.
And made me feel, given me confidence, which is something I never had. That's why I drank.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're not drinking. I'm glad you're healthy.
So having Ringo, his insight and his wisdom has helped me with my life and as a human being. Besides the music part of it.
Yeah, he seems like a real good. I mean, I don't know. I got to know Paul McCartney a little bit. What a amazing guy.
Yeah.
I mean, something else.
Yeah.
I always say, you talk about guys who strip it down, so to speak, who are analog men. I was talking the other day. I heard a song of his that I hadn't heard in years. It was from his first solo album after he left the Beatles. It was Turn It Up. But what's the name of that song?
Ooh You.
Ooh You. And I love this song, Ooh You, but it's so fucking stripped down. And in fact, he's in a studio doing it, and he says, "Turn it up." He's talking to the engineer. It became part of the song.
Yeah,
that's the shit I like.
That's analog.
That's analog. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You and Ringo, you and Ringo ever swap sisters? Would that ever happen? Like you do him?
Howard, I'm not going to stoop to that mentality. Let's go get our asses waxed.
Right. Listen, this. Oh, and by the way, the single is "Lucky That Way." I'll play a little.
Is that right? I want to hear. Yeah.
Let me see. "Lucky That Way" sounds like your life now. Joe Walsh, the new solo album, Analog Man. And that's in stores tomorrow. Why do you always do that? In a lot of your songs, when you're singing about yourself, you say, "I'm not that special." I'm like, you know.
But you may know me.
Even like in Life's Been Good, you're like, "Yeah, my fans love me, but I'm not that great an artist." Why do you put yourself down in your own songs?
Well, I could either explain it or you could listen to the song.
Okay. It's in there. Okay.
Oh, it's in there. All right. It feels good to be you.
It does. Listen to the chorus.
I am.
Oh, yeah. But here comes the chorus.
When you wrote you had a Maserati, did you really have the Maserati?
It would be logical.
But do you really have the palm trees in the swimming pool now?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Here we go.
Here we come. This is it.
There you go.
I'm just lucky that way.
Yeah.
What is it, Gary? How dare you interrupt my... He's handing me a piece of paper.
I'm going to tell you what it is.
Oh, here. Oh.
That's a song that Stevie wrote for Joe. God, she must have loved you.
What was the song?
The song is called "Has Anyone Ever Written Anything For You," as Joe said. And I thought he was talking to me. Listen to this lyric. "You know I'd rather be alone than be without you, don't you know? She'd rather be alone than be without you." What the fuck did you do to this girl? You must
He's just lucky that way.
You must have banged her silly. Were you in love with her?
As a sister.
Really? God, she was... I mean, I imagine... This was the 70s, right?
I mean, she's like a soulmate, you know?
You still talk to her?
Once in a while.
This was like in the 70s, right? I mean, was there a more beautiful, physically beautiful woman than Stevie Nicks and all that talent? I mean, you would think that's the whole package. I mean, that would be my fantasy.
Were you not into her?
No, I was, Robin. That didn't come out right. All I'm saying is that we were seeking refuge, kind of, in each other's presence.
Because you both were into drugs at that point?
Kind of, yeah, there was that part of it, but we were on the road, we had careers, we were both lonely.
Why did you never marry her? Did the thought cross your mind at one point?
No.
And you never thought that way even in terms of like a powerful couple? Like, oh my God, there's two incredibly powerful people in rock and roll.
Or maybe that would have been too much.
Well, the relationship came and ran its course, as rock and roll relationships do.
Does it get competitive? Like, do you sit there and she was in Fleetwood Mac at that point, I guess?
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't.
No.
She was a solo.
Yeah.
Or she was in Buckingham Nicks.
Yeah.
And does it get competitive? Is that the problem? Like, you could never really marry another singer-songwriter because the two of you sit there and drive each other nuts with that stuff, career?
What made it possible was that we toured together.
Right. So when you're touring together, it's
and we spent all that time together.
But you were not monogamous with her, so she probably got jealous too, because knowing you back in those days, you were not going to be limited to one woman, true? You weren't going to be limited to one drink and not one woman. You were an addict.
We were both monogamous for that summer.
That's a pretty long time.
Yeah.
So you
A
felt
whole
something
season.
for her. Well, yeah, in rock and roll, that's 10 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. When we stopped touring, we
drifted apart.
I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to.
Look at you. What a life.
But do you think you could have been with somebody as powerful and talented as Stevie?
No, I don't think either of us could have committed to a lasting relationship in the state that we were in.
You surprised Steven Tyler's a judge on American Idol? Seriously. I mean, Steven Tyler's one of the great songwriter, great rock and roll stars.
I don't exactly know why he's doing that.
I had heard that it was for the money. That literally he had gone through so much money that it was like a $10 million payday.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You held on to a lot of your money, even though all the marriages and getting high and everything. How did you manage to hold on to your money? I know you're worth $164 million.
You know that?
I do.
Who'd you hear that from?
Your accountant told me.
He's still got $164 million on his own.
No one told me, but I read it on the internet that you were worth around $164 million. And that makes sense to me. Between the Eagles
and all the music,
and royalties and touring. But you could have lost it all, right?
I did.
You lost every dime you had?
Pretty much.
When was that?
When I went into recovery.
No kidding.
And then, in 1994, the Eagles decided to go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a clean start.
And they came to you and said, Joe, we're putting you in the band, but you got to get clean, right?
We can't do it without you. And we can't do it unless you're sober. Don and Glenn said that to me.
They saved your life.
It was an intervention. And they were real brothers when they did that.
That's right.
Because that's what I needed.
It motivated you.
You were broke?
So you are not worth $164 million.
No, I'm not.
Right. Because you got to get back, that's a lot of money. Does that bother you? Does that bother you at all that you pissed away a lot of money?
Not the money, the time.
You lost a lot of time in your life.
Yeah. There's like 12 years in there. I wish I had back.
Right. Right.
know?
Yeah.
But, I'm alive. I'm here.
It's true, because when you go through life that way, that high, it's like, wow, I don't even know what the fuck I did. There's so many things I could have learned.
Based on all accounts, I had a great time.
But you don't remember.
I probably remember more.
Yeah, you know more than I do.
I remember doing a TV show, and I wanted you to be a guest,
Howard,
and you
what are you
slept through it.
asking when I'm me all these questions? You know more than me.
I know, that's so true. All right, listen, Joe Walsh, it's exciting. New music from Joe. Analog Man is in stores tomorrow.
Hi, Marjorie, I love you.
Marjorie, I love you too, baby.
And Robin, I love you too.
I love you, Joe.
Hope you're feeling better.
JoeWalsh.com is where you can go to get all your Joe information. And Joe, anytime you come and see us, you know I like it. Next time, come back with a full album only about me. America's Sweetheart.
I'm going to call Leslie.
Call Leslie.
I think we could write a good song about you.
I think it's time you two teamed up and wrote a song about
That
me.
would be good.
I don't need you to make amends or anything like that with me. I'm fine with you.
Well, after we write the song, we may need to. Yeah.
The great and legendary Joe Walsh. Thanks, Joe.
Joe. That was so cool.
Yeah.
What elements would a song about Howard Stern have to contain? If you were gonna get together with Leslie and write a song, what does a Howard Stern themed song sound like?
Funky.
Yeah.
Kind of funky, kind of Ramones.
Little funk, a little punk.
Yeah, yeah, funky punk or punky funk. Something like that. Words. Parts of it really nice and friendly and parts of it awful. Like Howard.
Reflects his personality.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to talk to Leslie West, and I'll get back to you with more of it.
Cool. I think that would be a great song to hear.
Now, we got to think of stuff that rhymes with Stern.
Burn.
That's your homework assignment.
Burn is my first word. He's got a fire inside him.
Yeah. What rhymes with Stern? Well, No, I'm not going to go there. Great to be back.
Joe, it's great seeing you. One quick thing I was going to ask you. You guys seem very like-minded when you talk about, digital technology and the virtual world and its influence on music. Do you think Howard's an analog man in spirit? The way he approaches his show and the love of the performance and some of the errors that come along with it?
Howard wouldn't be Howard without all those analog years of being on the radio and, like I say, cart machines and stuff. Howard's very good and belongs in the digital age. I know about it too, but Howard wouldn't be Howard without all those years of knowledge and insight of the analog days. That's all I'll say.
All right, Joe. Best of luck with the new album.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Friend and show. It's Old Friends Week at the Stern Show. Today's Joan Rivers.
Okay.
Okay?
She's got a new book out,
Yes, I know. I read about it in the newspaper yesterday.
You know what it's called? It's very similar to what I think you would title the book.
Yeah,
The first line is, I hate everyone.
That's it.
And then she says, starting with me. But I don't think you feel that way about yourself.
I don't hate myself.
You love yourself.
No, I don't.
I love you. Good morning, Joan.
Good morning.
How are you today?
A little disappointed because you don't have your ice cream machine anymore.
We got rid of that?
I think so.
That's not right.
I didn't see it. Not right.
We lured you with ice cream, then we took it away.
Very important. Good morning, good morning. Otherwise, I'm fine, thank you.
And you have a new book out, so...
I have a new book called Joan Rivers, I Hate Everybody, and it's the first book of comedy that was ever banned. I'm very excited.
It's already been banned?
It's been banned by, I'm not allowed to say the name, Costco.
That's kind of cool, though.
Beyond cool.
I mean...
Beyond cool, that means the nice thing is no very fat people will be able to buy it and hide it in their folds.
But everywhere else you can pick it up.
Everywhere else you can pick it up.
Just not if you want to buy bulk
no,
food items.
No, you can't buy it in bulk, can't buy a pallet. You can go to BJ's and buy it.
Well, welcome.
So that's what's going on. I'm thrilled to be here.
Good to see you again, Joan.
It's good to be going on the air like a real big person. And how is Howard now that he's rich?
I think he's doing well. I think he's enjoying this
Who
run
is he on
AGT.
with? He's on with
it's Howie Mandel.
And Sharon.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I think he's enjoying this run, though.
He should. He should have done this a long time ago.
You've said it since the beginning.
From the beginning. He's terrific.
All right, I'll let you get to Howard.
Thank you.
There's one other interesting thing, Howard. It's funny. Tim had dinner with David Brenner last night.
Yeah.
And, David Brenner's like trying to figure out, how to reinvent himself and everything. But the question is like, Joan has sort of managed to remain iconic. And I know it's because she's funny. But there's a lot. Maybe it's because Joan just never stops. Maybe that's why. But she certainly put herself in a place.
Well, she's also like, she's willing to say shit that like David Brenner won't.
I guess that's what it is.
She's outrageous.
I got to tell you, I just filled her in on Robin in very broad strokes because she didn't know anything, and she cracked like 3 jokes in there that made me laugh my ass off.
Oh no!
No, they're not bad. They're just stupid. But they're nothing that will insult. Robin will laugh at them. And I would tell them to you, but I want you to laugh at them.
Okay. Hey, Joan Rivers is here. Joan Rivers just came out with yet another new book, I Hate Everyone, starting with me. It's in stores today. A living legend.
Now, is she calling herself a living legend now?
I'm calling her a living legend. She's an icon, don't you think?
I didn't know if that was in the copy or if you said that yourself.
No, I'm calling her a living legend. I'm calling Joan a living legend.
I certainly think so.
What?
Thank you.
You refuse to do the show without Robin?
I don't do the show unless Robin is sitting there.
Robin's gotten so lazy with this show that she does it from home now.
That bitch has lost so much weight.
That's right.
You can't find me anymore.
I love you on the thing with Howie Mandel and Sharon.
America's Got Talent.
Oh, well, you know the name. I don't have to learn it.
Yeah, why did you need to learn that? And why do you need to be bothered? I enjoy doing it, I believe it or
you
not.
You look like you enjoy doing it.
I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, what is left to do in my career except shock everyone with doing a family show?
Yeah.
I mean, really, when you think about it, who would have expected that one?
But you're so cute, and so I go back to NBC when they had you in that closet.
Yeah,
remember that?
Right. Yeah,
so
long way.
You should have done this a long time ago.
You know, it's funny. Gary was just in here. We were talking about you behind your back, and I said, and he said, we have had so many comics on our show over the years, and we were just naming all the people who kind of have disappeared in terms of their careers. And Carrie goes, don't you think it's amazing that Joan Rivers, I mean, really think about it. Like, she's still relevant and funny and like really has a real career as opposed to like a Mercy booking somewhere.
Yeah, right. Thank God.
Yeah, and it is amazing. So he said, what do you think the secret is? And I said, I think the secret is she's funny. She's like...
she's actually talented.
I keep looking over.
Yeah, I know, but I can't imagine... Oh, you keep looking over for Robin.
For Robin, right. His stupid voice.
Well, I keep looking for her, and I want them to tape a picture of her over there.
What are you people talking about? What are you talking about?
No, it's hard work. No, yes, funny.
But aren't there days where you go, I don't want to keep up with pop culture?
No.
Honestly.
I don't want to keep up. I don't want... If one more person says, I love John Carson, who gives a shit?
Nobody remembers John.
The man is disintegrated even in his coffin.
Right.
There's nothing left there except 3 bones.
Although I did watch a special on Johnny Carson, and you were a part of it.
And
you were very complimentary to him.
And they cut out the one part, the truth. It's where I called him, and he hung up on me. And they have all these people saying, look who's saying it. The producer who hates me, who I hate.
They cut that out.
And they have the people saying she never called him.
Oh.
And I called the producer. Then they wanted me to do PR for it. And I called them up. I said, you have just perpetrated a lie.
Right.
Well, Johnny's wife, I said, the third wife with the implants.
Right.
Yeah, she was walking the beach looking for him in Malibu. I know how she met him.
Johnny's wife has a say on the special?
Yes, she decided. Alex decided.
Is it true that...
Number 22.
Is it true that your birthday is coming up?
Yeah.
Can I say...
79. How about that
I didn't know
one?
if you gave that out, but...
That's amazing.
Can you believe you're 79?
No. I'm in perfect health. That's the joke. And everyone around me is dropping dead.
Because I can't even believe it's 79. Like, when you wake up in the morning that you even care
I don't even think
about your career. I really can't believe it.
But I love what I do.
Yeah, I know, but like...
Howard, they just banned my book. How fabulous is that?
Yeah, that was weird.
Fabulous. It's some asshole.
Who is banning
But
your
where
book?
was it banned, by the way?
I'm not
Walmart?
allowed to say the name, so you have to give me a hint.
Okay, Walmart?
No.
No? Costco? Okay. They banned your book because, well, the back...
People that sell pink meat.
It's funny. It says here, on the back of your book, there are quotes. Will Chamberlain said about your book, if I was alive, even I wouldn't fuck her.
Yeah, that's what I wrote quotes that I thought were appropriate for the book.
Dr. Kevorkian said of your new book, this author should be euthanized.
That's right. Maria Antoinette was the one they didn't like.
It says, let her eat shit.
Yeah, I thought that was a testimonial to their produce department.
So they were afraid that if someone picked up the book jacket, they would see the word shit, and then that would corrupt them.
Meanwhile, they
offend
sell
people.
ammo to children.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Who was ever hurt by that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so stupid. But I got so excited because I'm from the generation where they used to ban books in Boston.
Right.
I said, this is fabulous because it's a funny book.
It is funny. In fact, I was looking through the book. As long as we're talking about your book.
Oh, we don't have to.
No. I want to talk about it because there was one quote that I thought was outrageous, and in a politically correct society to say this, I'm going to quote you now. I thought this was pretty wild. Let me find it. Because I have a lot of quotes.
I have never been politically correct.
All right, listen to this. You write about, in your new book, the TV show Glee.
Yeah.
You say on Glee, all the homo kids. Now, this is a quote. Okay, because a lot of people aren't saying that kind of stuff anymore. Okay. On Glee, all the homo kids are smiling and giggly, and they spend every day singing in the halls. When I went to high school, the homos spent most of their days hiding in their lockers crying.
That's right.
You feel a show like Glee should be about kids hiding in their lockers, right?
Everybody's happy. The fat girl is singing.
Yeah, right. It's true. In high school, where is the reality in that? The fat girl had to hide.
Leah Michelle, whose nose continues around the corner.
You're like, what planet is this?
Yeah, this is not the high school I went to.
Well, maybe the feeling is if they present an imaginary high school where everyone has fun, that all the high schools around the country, all the kids will think gay people are fun. And
Let's include the crippled kid on the team. I was on the baseball team. I played so far out. By the time I came in from the outfield, we had to go back again.
Do you think it built your character, Joan, that you were ostracized as a teenager and that you were locked in your locker many times and things like that? Like, in other words, it built character. It can't all be good.
I think it's great sometimes. And I'm being serious now.
Go ahead.
That you get a couple of knocks. I think the stupidest thing is all these little crappy kids who can't play, they all get like a certificate.
A trophy.
You were good, you get a trophy. No.
You were bad.
Oh, you know what I hate the most?
What?
When people say to the child, the divorce had nothing to do with you. Meanwhile, your big head stretched your mother's vagina.
and
she's flapping in the wind.
It's so big that the husband didn't want to bang her
That's
anymore.
it. The husband and 4 people were in there.
You make a good point. Now, on Octomom, you wrote that her uterus is like a sausage maker.
Yes.
You're right. It's true.
Right.
I spoke to her the other day. Wait, I'm gonna give you a couple of quotes.
Did you talk to her?
I
you
did.
can't talk to her.
We did speak to her.
Totally crazy. You can't.
She's totally wild. She just doesn't shut up.
And why won't nobody's addressing that these children are trapped in a house with her?
I know. Well, thank God she's not Kate Gosselin.
Now, what about this? Can you be sued in your book for writing about Oprah in this manner? Do you know? Did you check this with lawyers?
I checked this with lawyers, and it's a humor book.
I see. Because it says here.
That's how you get away with it.
It's a humor book.
You say Oprah is Stedman's beard.
That's what I think.
Yeah, you say, yeah, sure, Oprah denies it, but even Abraham Lincoln didn't have this big a beard. I know Oprah's opened schools and raised money and given away big, Buicks and things like that, but so what? She can't keep her weight at a reasonable level because that's important to you, right? I mean, someone has to keep their weight at a reasonable level. One day she weighs 140. 2 days later, she's being fitted for a boat cover. How long did it take you to write this vicious book?
Yes, I mean, did this
Honestly.
just pour out of you, or did you have to labor over it?
You're such an angry woman.
I did. It's funny.
Are you angry? Are you an angry woman?
Oh, I think I'm furious.
Yeah, you are. What do you think you're furious about, honestly?
About the stupidity of everything.
Do you think that's it?
Seriously,
Does it go back to your mother and father? No, I'm being serious for a second.
Yeah.
Do you think,
Like your personal anger.
Do you think you're so angry that it goes back to like your mom and dad not treating you properly?
They were very good parents.
Were they?
Yeah, I had what they call a very good childhood.
They understood you?
To a point.
What happened?
I get a feeling they didn't.
My father was a doctor. He worked hard. My mother was a housewife. She did her best.
Right.
They cared about the girls, my sister and I. Did they sit there and worry? Like I worried everything that Melissa did.
Right.
I doubt it.
Is your sister still alive?
My sister's still alive.
Is she totally jealous of you and your career?
Probably. But
she a married woman?
She married, 2 children, both did well. She's a lawyer.
Are you angry that she had the marriage that lasted and that she's happier than you?
She's not happy at all.
She isn't? Oh, she's miserable?
I'm very happy.
Is she happy in her marriage?
She's happy. Well, he died.
Oh, he died. So she is happy.
Well, look at the age.
Yeah, right. How many guys last that long?
These men are dropping like flies.
You're not kidding. So when you write a book like this, you sit down, and how long does it take you to write a book?
I wrote it it's a humor book. It's just what I think about everybody.
Right.
And what I think about everything. Children on planes.
Right. Terrible, right?
Well,
what do you
where
do?
is Casey Anthony when you need her?
Right.
How are they supposed to get around you?
I don't care. When I had Melissa, we went on a plane. I would bring wrapped gifts. Like, she had a Barbie doll, so I'd wrap up a pair of shoes. every half hour, she got another little present that she had to open and play with. She was my responsibility to keep her quiet.
So you kept her quiet by doing that on
Yeah.
the plane. That's very fair to the other passengers.
That's the only way you should do it.
Right. You planned ahead.
Or chloroform it. I mean, you got two choices.
Yeah, because I went to the movies the other day. I went to see Avengers, which is a scary movie to bring a 5-year-old to. And these 5-year-olds, I mean, you can't do that. You can't bring a 5-year-old to a movie like that.
And God forbid you turn around and say, please keep your child quiet or get out.
Oh, I told the woman to get the fuck out.
Good.
Yeah, I really did.
You should.
Yeah, I'm glad she didn't punch me in the face, but I mean, I was really pissed. The kid's going, Mommy, I'm scared. I'm scared. And I go, get her the fuck out of here.
Take him out.
Right. I'm angry, too.
I took Cooper out of Mary Poppins. He got scared of that ugly Mary Poppins, so he left.
Your grandson got scared at Mary Poppins?
Well, he was young.
I'm worried about this kid.
Well, listen, an ugly woman with an umbrella.
Do you get jealous of female comics, particularly female comics who, like, you kind of see, like Lisa Lampanelli right now is very hot, right?
Well, to a point. How many black eye fucked him jokes can you do?
So you're not thrilled with
She'll cool
her?
off. No, she's a one-note comic. She's fine, but she's not. Here we go. She's fine.
Why are you being diplomatic?
Because she's going to come after me, and she's probably a very nice girl.
No, but I'm
I
saying,
don't think
like
she's
some
one
people
note.
say Lisa Lampanelli is the new Joan Rivers. You know,
No,
they're always
no
looking for
way.
the new Joan Rivers. But you feel she has not earned that title.
Oh, no. She's very good on a certain level.
Right.
And Joan Rivers, we don't need a new one. We got one.
And I think this sounds terrible. It's 79. I think I'm unique. I think I'm very lucky.
Well, you are unique.
And I think I'm the best stand-up alive today. How about
but
that?
you're not gracious, let's say,
No, I'm
to
not
like
gracious.
Lisa. Right. You're like I don't need to be gracious to Lisa. Like you don't feel like, hey, look what I've created. I've created a job for a lot of women.
Are you gracious? I'm
not gracious.
I'm fighting for where I love what I do. I do it great, and I get out of my way.
So if you see Lisa Lampanelli, do you go up to her and say, "Oh, you're doing fine," but
Yeah.
you don't embrace her?
I'm doing. She started with me one time.
She did?
About something. I thought, first of all, I didn't even know who she was.
Right.
So then they said, well, Lisa Lampanelli said, they didn't use her on the comedy special.
Right.
My comedy thing. So she started doing a lot. I can say, who is she?
Right.
You know. And then I saw her stuff. And every time you see her, it's still, I fucked a black guy, got a black guy, I need a fucking black guy. Okay, let's get a second story in here.
You've fucked many black guys.
Oh, my God.
And you don't dwell
Well,
on it.
Melissa's
Talked
furious.
about it. She never even talked about it.
I've talked to a point.
By the
but
way-
Melissa gets upset because she's jealous.
In your new book, you talk about black people, and you say
I talk about everybody.
Yeah, and you say that you feel black people already have to figure out what to call themselves.
Yes.
You say in the book that, you know, when you were a young girl, everyone said colored, and then all of a sudden they wanted to be Negro. Then you say they wanted to be black. Now they want to be African American. You said, white people aren't that bright. We can't follow along. Pick a name and fucking
Pick
stick
a
with it.
name and I'll do it.
You say this in the new book.
Yes, the book is hilarious.
So there's wisdom in this book.
Thank you, Howard.
Is
There's
it?
wisdom.
And talk about when you used to fuck black guys. Melissa's real father is Malcolm X, you reveal in the
Well, no, actually, it's Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington is
I went
Melissa's
for
father.
looks.
That's right. A lot of people don't know that. 79 years old.
Yeah, but I
And you're
just
still
got my
fighting,
checkup.
and you're still fighting with these young comics.
You're goddamn right.
Maybe that's what keeps you alive.
And when they come over to me and they say, you opened the door, and you want to say, sweetheart, I am still opening those doors. Doors you won't even see for 10 years.
And you say your health is good. Have you been to the doctor?
Yeah, all the time.
And you probably go like constantly, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure you're going to stay alive.
Yeah.
You're checking
Right,
everything.
right.
Well, Melissa always says things like, if you get pains in your left arm and short of breath, that's good. It means you're losing weight.
Don't check that one.
Don't check that, mother.
Can you even count back how many years it's been since you lost your virginity, or you've lost count?
Well, it's all grown back.
You're kidding. You haven't gotten laid in so long that your virginity
I wouldn't
grew
know.
back.
This hotel has been closed so long.
Your hymen grew back.
Oh, it's so sad.
I hope you write about that.
I can marry a Hasidic because I'm pure
You're
again.
pure. You could act.
Does Joan Rivers masturbate at 79?
That's a good question.
That's a wonderful question, and we won't go there. Ask Jane Fonda with her new body.
Boy, she looks good, right?
She does, yeah.
She looks
You
great.
got to admire her. In fact, someone said to me the other day, young guy, he goes, you know, this sounds weird, I guess, but I guess Jane Fonda was up here promoting, or he saw her on TV, and he said, I'd fuck her.
Yeah.
Like-
Now, don't you love... Oh, all right. This is one of my big pet peeves. Beautiful older women and a real schlumpy guy with stuff coming out of his nose. I might fuck her. And you want to go, she wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, this guy, I think he was missing half his limbs, and he was ready to go fuck.
That's a turn on to me, though.
Hey, listen, compared to who you're dating, it's a pleasure. Are you dating?
I'm not dating now.
Why won't you say it? I want to know, does a 79-year-old woman still need to masturbate? Honestly, but a straight answer. You do?
Everybody.
Wow. I thought that maybe the desire leaves.
The desire never, and the look for romance never leaves.
Wow.
But
is it romantic masturbating?
Oh yeah, well, I always put a picture up.
You still pray for
I'm moving
romance.
to women now, though.
You still pray for romance?
Yeah, I would still love a romance.
You never made it with a woman, did you?
No,
never. That was
truly, never even had like a girl crush. No.
Right. Girl crush is silly.
Yeah, that's so stupid. What are you talking about?
Where did you get your vibrator
The
from?
boobies get in the way.
Where did you get your vibrator from? QVC?
My vibrator I got when I did.
You got to put out a line.
I had a vibrator show on vibrators on my daytime show.
Yeah.
So this vibrator that I have is so old. It says "Beat the Japs." It was made in World War II.
Let me understand something with you. You're at war with everybody.
Yeah.
Isn't it true that you met Will Ferrell? I'm going back now a couple of years.
Yeah. Very
in 2005 Golden Globes. Will Ferrell was on the red carpet. You were doing interviews. And you said he was very rude. Now, he seems like a guy who's nice to everybody.
Well, I was talking to Mike Nichols, interviewing Mike Nichols on the air. We all know. Live on E. And Will Ferrell, Mr. Important, walked up, turned Mike, and began to have a conversation with him. Not on the air with me.
Oh, that's
Do you understand?
But isn't that kind of funny?
You son of a bitch.
Wait
Who
a
do you
second.
think you are? You big stupid elf.
Do you think that was meant intentionally to be funny? Because that sounds funny to me. That like you're.
It wasn't funny.
It wasn't.
When Robin Williams does something funny, you know it's funny.
Right.
When Dustin Hoffman, no, this was just an egocentric asshole.
But I know you love big moments. You know to recognize a moment. When that guy did, why didn't you confront him on the air?
I tried. He wouldn't stop talking to him. It wasn't
That's
funny.
That's funny.
It's funny, but
so
it
you mean
wasn't
you went
funny.
up to this guy and you were scared? Listen, you.
Look, hello, Mike. Hello.
So
they probably have it somewhere on E on tape.
So you're convinced that Will Ferrell isn't a genius who constructed a situation for you that was brilliant?
No, this was called extraordinarily rude.
Wow.
An ego beyond egos. And you're funny, but you're not that funny.
Is it true that you claim, now, again, I can't even believe this number, that you've had a total of 739 cosmetic procedures?
I did it as a joke.
That is a joke, right?
And some moron picked it up and wrote it.
I said, how is that even? You would not be alive.
What would you have
I would be
left
covered
to
in
do?
bandages.
Yeah.
And by the way, let me say, how about how Letterman all of a sudden has embraced you?
We really like each other.
It's about fucking time.
Yeah, but at least he does it. Leno, that asshole.
Scumbag.
Scumbag.
Let's call it the way it is.
That not funny, lucky.
That motherfucker.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go, baby. You think you're angry. Come on, right now.
What is Leno doing? He doesn't acknowledge.
Never acknowledge, never asked on the show.
I can't acknowledge Joan Rivers. She hasn't done anything.
Yeah, a moron. But all the others, Jimmy Kimmel's been wonderful. Jimmy Fallon's been amazing. Letterman.
I think you're
Absolutely
terrific on Letterman.
I love working with him.
I've watched every appearance you did on Letterman, and I used to say to you for years when I always had you on the show, I'd say, I don't understand why David Letterman doesn't have you on, and Leno and all these guys.
Yeah.
You're a terrific guest.
Yeah.
You come out there, you're prepared, and you work it. Like a woman who wants to succeed.
Yeah, I still do it like it's my first shot.
That's it. Do you think Leno doesn't have you on because it's still tied in with him trying to identify with Johnny Carson, that dumb fuck?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Right.
But at this point, he'll never have me on because I always say, quote, one funny joke Leno ever said, and nobody can come up with it.
Wait a second, though. As weird as this will sound, I will defend Jay as a young stand-up comic. He was great, right? Am I right or wrong?
As a young stand-up comic, he was very funny.
Very funny.
Very funny.
I would say one of the top guys.
Well, let's not push that either.
Really?
But he was good. He was very good. He was very good. Gary Shanley. There was a whole group that was coming up at the same time.
Does Gary Shanley still? How does he live? I mean,
I love Gary. He must have made a pile of money.
But on what? I asked him. I was at a party with him. I go, "How are you alive?" I go, "How do you eat?" I mean, what? You were on HBO. They're infamously cheap.
And he was on the.
Oh, and so ask me how Bill Maher can buy a
$20 million.
Where did Bill Maher? I began to throw up my breakfast yesterday. 6 bagels came out of my mouth.
Now, Bill Maher's a good comic.
I love Bill. He's very smart. Where did you get the money to buy a baseball team?
Well, we were asking this question on the air yesterday. We were doing the finances. We said, like, how much money could Bill? In other words, to shell out $20 million to own part of the Mets, you would have to be worth at least $60-70 million at least. Because you can't give up every $20 million you got.
And maybe he's getting kickbacks from Huffington Post.
we had a theory that he didn't put up $20 million, that maybe he put up $1 million, and that other people are involved in his $20 million.
Right.
Do you think that's the case?
Yeah, then why don't they ever come to me with that? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. But
my fashion beliefs.
What are you worth? Seriously.
Nothing. I'm not making
that is such horseshit.
I swear to you, on my grandson.
How are you worth nothing?
Because I was always salaried. Fashion beliefs. I'm doing it now. It's a career move.
I know.
Joan and Melissa. It's a career move. Everything is a goddamn career move. It's time I got a little cash here. I don't own anything.
Joan and Melissa going into the third season. You don't own a piece of that show?
No.
And you're telling me that here's a show that's successful. 3 seasons now on E!
Yeah.
And they're not going to pay. They're like, no, Joan, this is just a vanity project.
Yeah. But look what it will do for your I'm not starving. I live very high.
I know.
As you know. But I don't have this kind of money. My accountant calls me up all the time. You got to sell either the country house or the city house.
Really? You don't have that kind of bread?
No.
It's remarkable to me.
Because
the clothing line, the
what is that?
Yeah, the jewelry and the clothing line. I've done very well. They've kept me through the lean periods.
Right.
The jewelry and the clothing support me so I can do fashion police and
I feel like all of the money went into your face.
A lot of it went in my face, a little in the breast.
You're seeing it. You're looking at it.
I'm looking at it. Is it true?
Edgar's funeral cost me a fortune.
Tell me the truth, Joan, and clear this up for me. I know on your show, on your television show on E!, you smoked marijuana.
That was on We.
That was on We, right. You're on We and E.
I'm on We and E and QVC.
How about a real network, finally?
Yeah, I'd like to be on NBC, but...
Exactly. Well, they're busy with me.
Exactly, which is great.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And Chelsea Handler's on NBC, too, you know. She got... Hey, so this is interesting. I see you biting your tongue. Hold it. Last time you were here, you let Chelsea Handler have it. You gave it to her good. And you said, how dare you?
I don't care. I don't think she's particularly funny. We all know how she got what she got. She's doing okay. Good.
You're referring to the fact that she was dating Ted Harbor.
Dating?
Well, but she was living with Ted Harbor.
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
Good. I don't care. But don't you come after me, you whore.
Who hates you? Joan Rivers was critical of you at one point, wasn't she?
Well, Joan Rivers. I mean, what the fuck do I care about Joan Rivers?
You don't care? It doesn't bother you? It does bother you.
I saw Joan Rivers the other day at E! And she said, hi, her and that daughter.
Melissa. Yeah.
And
you don't like Melissa?
No, I mean, I don't not like her. I mean,
right.
But I don't think about either one of them ever.
I have heard through the grapevine that the E! Network came to you and told you to shut your mouth about Chelsea Handler.
They told both of us, and I think it was very smart.
Why?
Because, actually, the smarter thing was if we had a big feud. I think that would have been really smart.
Right.
It's like back to banning my book. I think that's great. But they said, please stop it.
You went along with that?
Oh, they're not. So they're lovely at E!
So what?
So I said, absolutely.
But what does that? I mean, I had Chelsea on the show. I asked her about you. That's how this whole thing got started. And you came out, guns a-blazing, and
now
said, "Who are you?"
And we went to the upfronts, which is where you go and you meet everybody that's connected with the network. And she said something very nice about me at the podium.
Did she come up to you and say this?
No, we don't talk when we see each other.
You're kidding still? Even at the upfronts, you didn't talk to each other?
Well, upfronts, 200 people. You can avoid a lot of people.
So there you were.
I can't talk to her. I can't talk to Lisa Lepid.
I mean, you're
how do you go to a party these days?
I don't.
She stays home. She goes to England to go to parties.
I'm surprised she's not there today.
Some people
the Queen of England's having a jubilee.
Yeah, I know. I should be there. She called me last night.
Didn't you?
Where were you?
Didn't you do a stand-up in front of the Queen and said the word fuck?
Fuck, yeah.
And you told her you can behead me now?
Yeah, right now.
Right here,
I said, okay, let's just get it over.
Was she offended by that?
He laughed.
He laughed.
He
Prince
laughed.
Charles.
No, Philip.
Prince Philip.
And when they came down the line, the receiving line afterwards, he said to me, very funny, very funny, very funny.
Yeah. Very funny for a Jew.
Very funny for a Jewess.
So you well, get back to this for a second.
The
Chelsea Handler thing. I got to understand how this works.
I'm not going to make a feud here with her.
I'm not saying a feud, but I want the real Joan Rivers on this.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I want to know behind the scenes what goes on in your life. You came on here. You said, who is she? How dare she not look at me in the halls?
Right.
How dare she act like she doesn't know who I am? Because everyone knows who Joan Rivers is.
And that she's superior at times. Yeah.
Right. You really let her have it. I know my audience was very excited by this. They were like, wow, Joan, right on, blah, 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 blah. They like the feud.
Right.
But you come in here today, you bite your tongue.
Because I like the people at E. And
What
it's
did they
calmed
say?
down.
They said,
just let her alone. Let her alone.
Well, why?
E wants it to look like we're a happy family.
But you're not.
Well, we are. I don't need another feud.
So you go
How many times did I cross the street on one block?
It's amazing you're still alive. I'm surprised a hit wasn't put on you
You know what I'm
years
saying?
ago.
There's so-and-so I got to cross over. There's so-and-so I got to cross
So
back.
you go to the upfronts.
Yeah.
You're standing there, and Chelsea Handler's in the room. It's
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Doesn't she walk over to the icon Joan Rivers and
they
say,
should.
look, I'm sorry that this happened? No, she did not.
No.
Again, she dissed
No,
you.
but she went on stage and
Wait
she
a
said
second. Yeah.
something very nice about Joan.
What did she say?
I was backstage, but my friend said she said something like, my friend Joan is here or something.
My friend Joan, who I don't even look at when...
But she said that, and I thought that was very nice and very gracious.
So if people say something publicly, but then behind the scenes won't even look at you.
Well, that's me all the time.
But no, that's not true. That's not true.
Last night, Meryl Streep gave me her garbage to throw away. It was at a party.
No, be honest.
She
This
said, "Could you
doesn't
let this?"
I would have thought Joan Rivers would have said to E, listen, go fuck yourself. I'll say what I want about everyone. And then she should apologize to me.
And she should have. But you want to know, then you have to say, I am the grand icon. And I'm not. I am still in that trench
All right.
fighting.
Did Betty White and you smoke weed together? Is that a true story?
No.
You were making
I did
a
the
joke.
Betty White show.
You did?
Yeah.
And you even say in
Never
your new
again.
book, you even say,
really?
oh,
Never again?
really?
Why?
They were lovely. Betty was lovely. All the cast was lovely. First day, and I also did Drop Dead Diva, which is first day I get there, and I'm playing her auntie, her twin sister that comes back. So I say to them, where do I come from? Should I have luggage? They said, just read the lines. Now we read the lines, and I start to the way I work. Let me ad lib. Let me see. They call my manager the first day. They said, tell her to do the script as is.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa, okay.
Then why did you hire Joan Rivers?
Well, maybe they want you to just stick to the script.
Well, mistake.
Wait.
Brilliant.
I want you to explain this.
It wasn't that brilliant.
But explain it to me.
And the cast was lovely. Cast was terrific.
All right, but explain it to me. They wrote a script. They send it to you.
Right.
And you agree to do it.
Because you always figure when I did Suddenly Susan, you go in, I worked with Kathy, you ad-libbed and you came out with something terrific.
But you know on a lot of these shows.
I did Nip Tuck. What can you do to do it? You've got a writer who's funny. Let her give you an input. And I always say, if you like, let me try it. You don't like it, we'll throw it away. I never say.
But some writers and some shows
obviously.
are very scared or afraid to let go of their words. They want them exact.
Fine.
And, so...
Fine. And they had them exact. My big joke was, gee, is the minister here?
You were disappointed because you felt you didn't come off funny.
I came off like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then they called me and they said they want to put it up for a...
Emmy.
And I said no.
It's not Emmy.
It's not my best work.
And
now,
you've won Emmys.
2 weeks later, I go down to do Drop Dead Diva.
Right.
And they said, let's work together. It's going to be so adorable.
What is Drop Dead Diva?
It's on ABC. USA.
It's a scripted show?
Scripted show. But again, you come in on Monday, you're shooting on Friday.
They said, why don't you add some Joan Rivers to this?
And let's see. And if we don't, and I always say, if you don't like it, don't use it.
So you got insulted.
And on the Betty White show, not inside. I just thought, you morons. I've been on Broadway.
But won't there be
They didn't
chaos?
go for the best.
But won't there be chaos if everybody comes in with their own lines and their own ideas?
Don't hire a comedian who is a writer and give them on Monday a script that isn't particularly funny. And the jokes did not get laughs that they gave me.
They probably thought it was funny, though. You understand?
Yeah, of course. I'm a writer. I've written script. But if you walked in now and said, let me try this, I'd say, try it. Let's see.
Right. Be a little experimental.
Let's see. It's Monday. By Wednesday, we'll say yes or no.
So it was a bad experience.
It was a terrible experience. And not the
cast.
The cast was adorable. Because I really loved the cast.
Yeah, well, what do they care?
Yeah, I didn't say goodbye to anybody when I walked out.
You didn't. You were that pissed.
That pissed.
But you were professional. Right. You did the show.
Did the show. And I was so upset I couldn't memorize the lines.
And haven't you even said you don't particularly... You're angry with Betty White because you were in line to get all these old age parts.
Yeah, and then that bitch came back.
And she's getting every single part.
Well,
she's beating you out on every single audition.
She got the I'm falling, I can't get up commercial.
That's right.
You know how many times I've laid on my bathroom floor?
And meanwhile, by the way, do you own that device? I can't get up?
Melissa gave it to me, but she won't give me the batteries.
Because I would think that would be good, just in case you fall
Just
down.
in case I fall.
But there's nobody around if you fall, right?
Well, I have a Swiffer. Is that what they call those terrible machines? Or a Rolly? What do they call those?
It's I don't know what they call it. But I know
that little mop thing?
The thing you'd sit on. They always have the old lady smiling.
Oh, right. The scooter.
The scooter-wooter. And there's Grandma smiling because she's right. And the face of the family is always like, oh, fuck, the old bitch is moving again.
People say to me, did Joan really smoke pot on her show? You really, because sometimes on these reality shows can be staged a little bit.
No, ours is...
You went and took the joint.
It was so much fun.
Did you smoke with Melissa?
Oh, she gets very angry. She smokes a little.
She smokes, but she won't smoke with you.
No, she's wrong.
What do you mean she's wrong?
I think we have a great time.
If you smoke together?
Yeah.
She doesn't want to smoke with you because you're her mother. She
know.
She doesn't want every barrier broken.
Yeah.
So who did you smoke marijuana with?
I smoked with my friend Lynn Coplitz on the show.
Is she your age?
Nobody's my age.
But is she...
no, she's Lynn is probably in her late 40s.
And so you...
We laughed. You laugh. You just...
And how many times did you inhale the marijuana?
It didn't take that often. That much because I hadn't done it for 40 years.
You would smoke probably back in the Lenny Bruce days or something.
I smoked... last I smoked was in Lake Tahoe, probably 1980.
1980 you smoked. Yeah. And so you took it, and you took what? How many drags on it?
Oh, a lot. I was having a very good time.
And you don't get paranoid? You don't...
I just laugh and laugh and laugh.
You do?
Everything strikes me as funny.
And did you go to Melissa, your daughter, and say, look, now I want to smoke marijuana with you. This will be a good time.
No, I think we're going to go call her when I get off of here.
Yeah, but you didn't discuss it with her.
She has a new clothing line for Zappos, which is great.
Right.
And so I'm going to say to her, when you sell your first, 25,000 dresses, we'll smoke pot together.
Does she smoke weed? She really does?
Yeah.
Yeah. She tells you, Mom, I smoke weed, but I don't want to smoke with you specifically.
Yeah.
She feels it would bum her out.
Yeah. I think, well, I'm the mother.
I was reading, and this might be irrelevant to a lot of younger people who listen to the show, but did you make love, back in the day, did you bang Robert Vaughn, the famous movie actor?
No, I would have.
No, not Robert Vaughn. Wait, I got the name. Robert Mitchum.
Robert Mitchum?
You banged Robert. Yeah, Robert Vaughn was Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Right.
Robert Mitchum was a very famous, good-looking movie star.
Fabulous
rugged, yeah.
You
soul of a poet.
How did you bang the soul of a poet?
I met him on the Tonight Show.
Look at the smile on your face.
Yeah, she's still smiling.
Calm
He was
down.
great.
When you say great, you mean
he was sexy. Great looking man. Go look at some of those old movies.
Big penis?
Everything was perfect.
No shit. What happened?
And he was a poet. He was amazing.
He just wasn't good looking. He was amazing.
He was amazing.
Did you smoke pot with him? He was a big pot smoker.
Yeah, we
you
smoked
did.
a little pot.
How? Look at the smile on his face. Look at you. You don't even light. You don't light up like this when I bring up Edgar.
Well, Edgar I was married to.
Right.
Robert Mitchum was a one-night stand.
Was it one night?
Yeah, it was great.
Were you disappointed it was one night?
Oh, I would have, if he had said toot toot, let's go.
Right.
I would have said, Melissa who?
Right.
I would have sold it to Octomom.
So wait a minute. I'm trying to. You were married and you had a one.
Oh, let's not go there.
Oh, wow. You had a child.
Yeah, I was married.
You were married. Robert Mitchum wants
Comes
to
on
bang.
the Tonight Show.
Go ahead.
And he's the guest, and he's
Right.
very charming, and we had a drink after, and it was fabulous.
You cheated on your husband.
Yeah. Wow.
Did you go home and tell him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hello, Edgar. Let me tell you.
Did Edgar ever find out?
And the next time Edgar and I made love, I said, Robert Mitchum.
Hey, Edgar, you're not that. You know Robert Mitchum.
You know Robert Mitchum.
Did
you can't even write a couplet.
Before Edgar died, you never confessed.
No.
So you now talk about this because Edgar is gone.
He's dead. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't hurt
Was there a lot of cheating on Edgar?
No.
Be honest.
No, I'm being
A couple
no.
of times?
3 times.
Because you were in show business and
it's 20 years.
Right.
And especially when you're on the road with a play, you know, you get very
lonely.
You get lonely, and it's very intense work.
And it's intense also that Robert Mitchum, a very famous A-list movie star, wants to have sex with you. I mean, it's almost intoxicating.
And he was, as I said, he knew poetry. He knew books. He wasn't what you saw on the screen.
Was he much older than you at that point?
Oh, no, probably.
Yeah, and
yeah, he was an older man, but still older. I was probably in my 30s, and he was older. He was probably 52.
Was he a married man at that point, too? Were the both of you married?
I think he was always married.
He was always married.
Yeah.
And so he sees you on The Tonight Show, and let's face it, you're very seductive on The Tonight Show.
Yeah,
you're very good at, you're very good at your craft. Don't be honest.
And I was funny, and I was young, and what the hell?
And so he
I don't
says
think
to you...
I don't think he'd be sitting and smiling now about me.
Right. Who knows?
He'd probably say, Joan who?
But he...
Never happened. Who? Oh, yeah.
But so when he says to you on The Tonight Show, you're sitting there with Johnny.
Have a drink afterwards.
Let's have a drink. Oh, my God. Your heart must have been a flutter.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Look at your face.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's great. It's great.
I mean, you're like, I could see it. You're imagining him fucking you.
Yeah, it was great.
I could see it. Did you feel guilty at all?
Oh, you feel terribly sad. Terribly guilty.
About when you go back to bed with Edgar?
Yeah, with Edgar. Terrible.
Yeah, and you're like,
terrible.
How do you get past? Not that bad.
She got over it.
All right. Because you still light up thinking about it.
Yeah.
Did he give you an orgasm, Robert Mitchum?
We can move on to something.
Why? This is fascinating to me that you cheated.
Obviously, it was a nice evening.
Yeah, he has the drink, and you're easy. I mean, you go right.
I'm easy.
Like, you didn't even...
You didn't even have dinner.
My feet were on the table during the drink.
You knew when he asked you for a drink, you were going to fuck him.
2 feet were on that bar.
So you go for drinks. Were you afraid that people would see that you were having a drink with a man?
No, it's business.
I
We
see.
just done the show.
Monkey business.
Yeah, we just done the show.
So no hesitation at all. And you're sitting
Oh,
there...
yeah, you're shocked, but also you're just swept off your feet.
And so...
Like, where do they go? Do they go to a hotel?
Of course.
Somewhere in Santa Barbara. I really...
Went back to his place?
No, we went to a very pretty place in Santa
Listen,
Barbara.
everyone who was involved is dead. You don't have to worry. I mean, what do you mean? You're acting like this is going to be in the National Enquirer. It's Robert Mitchum. For God's sake.
Nobody cares. You know when they talk about these names,
Yeah,
and
right.
they say, who cares?
But remember in that day, Robert Mitchum,
It was great.
he was a big star.
Yeah, and he was great.
Would you have left Edgar for Robert Mitchum, seriously?
I certainly would have thought about it.
Right. And so he takes you
But
back
I would have
to...
left. I would have given Edgar the house.
Right.
I would have given him Melissa.
Hey, that's enough. Who wouldn't want a little beautiful baby like Melissa? So here, Edgar, you raised this thing.
I'm off with Robert Mitchum.
Yeah, give us a call.
Was there any part of you hoping that he would knock you up that night? And
Oh my! No, I never thought about that. Wouldn't that be great?
Well, he fucked you without a rubber, right? I mean, back in those days, they didn't even have rubbers.
Yeah, that was free
Those days, you use cloth.
Right. He fucked you through a sheet. Seriously, he entered you without any...
We're gonna. Can we please?
Why?
That's enough.
No, it isn't. It's not enough.
Did Melissa know? Have you talked
No,
to her?
she doesn't ask you.
And did you call Edgar that night and go, hi, honey?
Could be a little
What's the
late.
excuse?
Hi, Edgar. I'm going to be a little bit late. Or, I mean, you weren't out the whole night, were
No,
you?
you walked the dog.
Did you do that? You're going to need to walk the dog tonight.
It's a reality.
Did you spend the whole night with Robert Mitchum?
No.
You left. He fucked you and he threw you out.
Well, you remember you really taped from 5 to 7.
Right.
So you had from 7 to 11:30. Not tragic.
Yeah, right. And so he didn't.
I meant nothing. I can assure you.
Yeah, right.
But
and then you did the walk of shame, right?
oh, the walk of shame.
You're all dressed up for the Tonight Show. Your
Hair
hair's all
all
messed up.
Lipstick's a little.
Lipstick all messy from semen stains on your chin. I mean, did you blow him?
I'm not going there.
Tell me the truth.
I can't remember.
You remember every detail of that. Tell me when you masturbate, you don't think about Robert Mitchum entering you. You're like, oh, Bob.
Well, now you think how old they are.
I mean, but seriously, when you mentioned that you masturbate, do you ever say, oh wow, you think about Robert Mitchum nude? No.
But I do see the movies. It's so funny.
Do you go back and watch the movies?
Yes.
Yes. And do you get wet?
No, but I just think, oh my God.
Wow.
There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Look
So
at
great.
you.
Well, you know, at this age, all you got is memories.
Did you ever try to make it happen again with him? Did you ever
No,
call? You never call?
no.
Where are you? Mr. Mitchum.
I would say every night, we should have him back on the show.
Too bad we can't.
Hey, come on, guys. How about instead of Cher, let's get Robert Mitchum.
Was he your only famous guy that you had?
The only famous... No, there's another one. There was an actor. But
Who was the other one?
New York actor.
What was his name?
Gabe Dell. But
Gabe Dell?
Yeah.
You're going to put him in the same league?
No, you asked.
Did you call him Bob or Robert Mitchum? Or you didn't just Mr. Mitchum?
Mr. Mitchum,
Oh,
sir.
Mr. Mitchum.
It
Oh,
sounds
Mr.
like
Mitchum.
it sounds like you only knew him for a few short minutes. So it's like you probably didn't call him anything, right? But have you ever touched yourself thinking about Robert Mitchum?
I'm not going to go
Why?
there.
Why not? Why not go there?
No, but because
What do you
he's
mean,
old
no?
now, and you just...
Old?
It's so...
Isn't he
he's
dead?
dead. He's dead.
old now.
That's old.
He's dead. Who cares if you jerk off to Robert Mitchum? I
You don't want to jerk off to dead people.
I mean, my God. Oh, you wouldn't jerk off because he's dead.
Well,
But did you sometimes, when you were in bed with Edgar, go, "Oh, if this was Robert
oh,
Mitchum"?
well, one does have fantasy.
Yeah. But none of your cheating was an ongoing affair. It was always a one-night stand, or
Gabe Dell was a big affair.
Gabe Dell.
And I left Edgar over that.
You did?
Really?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
So how did you end up back with
3
Edgar?
weeks, and then I just thought, this is crazy.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, Gabe
Look
was...
at you, you wild woman.
Yeah.
Man, you were out there fucking like a rabbit.
Oh, you have no idea.
I mean, Gabe
I barely
Dell?
had a chance to write jokes.
I mean, Gabe Dell said to you, "Listen, I want to be with you."
No, I think it scared Gabe.
It did.
But yeah, we started together on a Broadway show, and you have this big, intense, you know, you're on the road, and you're bringing it in, you're working late at night and all that stuff, and you're kissing on stage, bing, 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 bing. And then the show closed, and they continued a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it got to...
It was too...
and he liked me. He used to sit in front of my house. I was with Edgar, and smoke cigarettes.
Oh, wow.
Like a stalker.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was scary.
He wanted you.
He
And Edgar
wanted
never
me.
never caught on to any of this? The
I think
guy
Edgar
sitting in
knew.
the-
I think Edgar
Really?
knew somewhere it was Gabe.
Let's dig up Gabe and let's dig up Robert Mitchum, and we'll have a whole show.
Let's see what they were buried with and get the jewelry.
So you think Edgar knew that you were cheating?
I
with
think
Gabe
he knew
Dell?
that. I think he knew.
Wow. Oh,
Well, that's the way it goes.
did he ever confront you?
No. No, Edgar's English.
You whore! Hey, you whore!
Melissa, tell the whore to come downstairs.
Your mother, the whore.
Go get the whore.
Wasn't it true you had a night of passion with Larry Fine of the Three Stooges?
No.
Oh, yes. And that, you see how I glow?
Talk about Larry Fine and him entering.
How with a
How
banana.
He didn't use a rubber.
Use a banana
He had a big red
peel.
nose on. No, but
How could you? Don't you laugh when you realize these guys had sex lives?
no, I understand.
Like
but,
the Three Stooges.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They
You know,
actually had sex with people.
if you
yes.
know anything about the Three Stooges, the amazing thing is that Curly, you know, the shaved head one,
Right.
he was the ladies' man. That Mo was married, Larry was married. Curly would fuck like a rabbit, and he was so tortured because in the Three Stooges they wanted him to have a shaved head and they wanted to keep him fat, and he was a phenomenal ballroom dancer who loved women and fucked like crazy, and he was the ladies' man. And who would believe that? If you read the history of the Three Stooges, which I have because I love them, and I would have thought you would have been one of the conquests of
Oh,
Curly.
what about the Marx Brothers?
Do you still remember? Was Robert Mitchum the best-looking guy you ever banged in your entire life?
Just the most masculine. It was the whole package.
Masculine, right?
He was the package. Yeah.
Right.
Everything.
And when he was a cigarette smoker, and so were you back in the day, right?
No, but I let him smoke.
You did. He smoked after he banged you.
Yeah, he used to put the ashes in my belly button. Oh, Bob, you silly boy.
Go ahead. Use me as your ashtray, Bob.
Use me as your ashtray. I don't care.
He could have wrecked your life.
Yeah, what
Do you remember?
What a scandal.
But you know how great to have a couple of good memories like that.
Oh, absolutely. Do you remember like the size and shape of his penis?
No.
You don't? Like, is it not that detailed?
Those were different kind of days. You didn't kind of like look that much.
But when a guy is that hot, and when he enters you, do you come immediately? Do you just?
Can we just
Do you
change
have an
this up?
orgasm immediately?
Can we go back to my book, please?
Was that the first time you had an orgasm?
No.
Oh,
Edgar
my
never gave you an
God.
orgasm in a minute.
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, I'm out of my mind. Don't you know? What am I doing on a family television show? Was he much bigger?
Let me ask you.
Was Robert Mitchum bigger than Edgar?
Yes, he was.
His penis, I mean. Was it thicker and bigger?
Why don't we call? I wonder. What do we tell if the wife's alive?
I'm going to dig them all up and compare penis size. Is it true that you let Ed Sullivan finger you? That is
He wouldn't have remembered.
Let's get back to your book. Oh, he would have remembered.
Ed Sullivan at 50 was early Alzheimer's.
He was, right? Was that true, or was it just that
No. He would. I remember one time they treated him like gold. He was saying had to do a commercial, and he did it 5 times, and 5 times he did it wrong. They were going to put it into the show.
Was it that he couldn't really? He wasn't showbiz and he couldn't read, or
couldn't. He just couldn't do it. And he had a wonderful son-in-law named Bob Precht, who treated him. Let's try it again, Ed. Let's try it again.
Wow.
And the 5th time, finally, Bob said, "That's fine, Ed."
And you saw this person because you used to appear on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Was that like the most pressure in your career, the Ed Sullivan Show?
It was insane.
More than even Johnny Carson, because that was a primetime Sunday night show. The world was watching. Talk about make or break an appearance.
Talk about, it was live, so everybody was. You did dress rehearsal, which was dead people and Girl Scouts.
Right.
So nobody laughed.
Right.
So they said, well, Joan Rivers is going to do 7.5 minutes tonight. Now you get the nighttime audience, and it goes to 11 minutes.
Wow.
Well, if you've gone longer, that means Edie Gourmet can't sing He Came Into My Life. You can just sing I Came Into.
Yeah, you got to be dead. And Ed could hold a grudge. If you didn't do a good job or you screwed someone else over, if you went to 11 minutes, he would have fucked you good.
When they... one time somebody went short and they came backstage to me and it was all live.
Right.
And they said, stretch. And you know what I said to them? Tell my husband. Because Edgar would have killed me if I added material.
Weren't you on one night with Senor Wences and you ended up making love to him?
Yeah, sure. To his hands.
The one-night stand with Senor Wences?
Yeah, right.
Hello.
But, I mean, do you remember like who you used to appear with on there? I mean,
Woody, I have a picture of the 5th Dimension, Woody Allen and me, and we're all watching the screen backstage, terrified.
And so it was a great show.
It was a great show because you had to be live. You had no second chances.
When you did the Ed Sullivan Show, did your career change dramatically the next day?
Carson gave you New York, L.A., the big cities. Ed Sullivan gave you America. He put his arm around you. He has a little Joan Rivers.
Right.
The Midwest said welcome.
And he really, you think now that you think back on it, he was suffering from Alzheimer's disease back then.
He was at the end. Yeah, it was very, and she was wonderful. His wife, she protected him. She watched him.
It's an amazing story. Ed Sullivan was like a gossip columnist who got his own TV show. He was horrible on TV.
No personality.
But it made it good. He was so stiff and so out of it.
Right.
You loved it.
You loved it. And the show was a great show. It was before everyone had their own specials. You saw everybody. You saw opera, and then Dolly Parton came out, and then Joan Rivers came out.
See, that's
was
why
sort of like America's Got Talent.
That's why I was just going to say I like doing America's Got Talent because it has all these variety.
That's what makes it interesting.
It's fun.
It's fun, and it's not the same thing.
Oh, I lived for that Ed Sullivan
you could
show.
see Joan Rivers and bell ringers, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Who
spun the plates.
Yeah, and Topo Gigio and all those cool
And then
things.
right after that, Richard Burton would come out and do something from Shakespeare.
Would you send like Ed Sullivan a gift after you appear? Like, I mean, you probably felt so grateful to him.
I loved him, and he loved me. And they would buy you your clothes for the show.
Wow.
And if they liked you,
you got to keep them.
They would walk upstairs, and they would say, Mr. Sullivan, it was a whole thing, would like you to have your gown.
Oh, wow.
But you never knew. You took it off, you hung it up, you put it in the closet. And then they would come in and say, Mr. Sullivan would like you to have your gown.
How many times did you appear on Ed Sullivan?
31 times.
31 times.
Made my life.
That's an accolade.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal.
I adored him, because he liked me.
I mean, and how many female comics even got on him at that point?
Little Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers. Who else got on there? Toady Fields, maybe.
Toady was before me. Woody,
right.
And Woody was... And Ed was...
But Woody Allen thinks he's a shitty... He thinks of himself as a shitty comic, a stand-up comic.
He was very... he was wonderful.
And he was terrific on those appearances.
Wonderful.
Because he was prepared.
He was prepared, and he was funny.
Out of 31 appearances, did you get to keep the gown every time, or there were times where he didn't feel you did
always
well?
got the gown.
Always got the gown.
He really liked me. Always got the gown.
Well, that's an amazing story. Johnny never gave you a fucking gown.
No, Johnny never even gave me a toilet seat.
Yeah, but he gave you Robert Mitchum for the
That's
night.
okay.
I heard Johnny paid Robert Mitchum to be with you that night. That's the story.
And filmed it.
And filmed it, that's right.
He was with Mitchum's wife.
Yeah, Joan started the whole X-rated things on the internet.
Whole,
that's right. Yep.
YouTube and the X-rated
That's
porn.
right. All right, let's get through Joan's long appearance schedule because
thank you.
This new book,
It
which
sounds funny.
it's very funny and
Got
that's
great reviews, by the way.
and it's my kind of book. There's no big words. You know what I mean? And the chapters are short. I like that kind of book.
And it's funny.
Yeah, I
It's
opened it up
funny.
last night. I had a good time with it. Joan Rivers' new book, I Hate Everyone, starting with me, which is good. You're self-effacing. That's always a good trick. She doesn't hate herself, by the way.
That's how she gets away with all the other
Hey,
stuff.
who are you voting for, Obama or Romney?
I hate them both.
You hate them both. What are you going to do? You have to vote.
Well, first of all, Obama, just a man of the people. Meanwhile, Anna Wintour gave a dinner party, $40,000 a plate.
yes.
Hardly man of the people.
All right, but he's raising money
And
for
Romney
his campaign.
is
Romney,
an
yeah.
ass. You know, they're both stupid.
And with carrying on with the religious right, that Romney,
that was
it
a
turns me
religious.
off. I
I
like
went to
it
a
either.
Jesus freak convention.
You did?
Jesus loves you. I said, the guy, if he loved you, he'd give you a chin. I don't think he loves you at all.
Joan Rivers' new book, I Hate Everyone, starting with me, is in stores today. Everyone is very
Yes.
excited about it. Now, here's what we have to remember.
What?
To meet Joan Rivers, who is a living legend. She was on the Ed Sullivan Show 31 times. I don't know if you know that.
Do you personally insult the people who come to get their book signed by you?
I'm thrilled they're putting out their hard-earned money. Are you kidding?
Yes, Marty, you're on the air in Daytona Beach.
Uh-oh.
Hey, now.
I just wanted to say that Lisa Lampanelli will never be a Joan Rivers.
Oh, that's so. I got so nervous. Thank you, Marty. Usually they put in the guy that says, "Screw
I
you,
love
Joan Rivers."
I think you're wonderful and so bright, and I love all you guys. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you, Marty.
That's so nice, and thank you for calling, Marty. It's the first nice phone call I've ever gotten on this show.
You're not kidding. And because you made a nice phone call, Joan is going to tell the story when she slept with all of the Bowery boys, which is
including the dog.
Right. Hey, Joan, I meant to ask you, what is going on with all these cannibals? There's a guy they just arrested for cannibalism. He ate his boyfriend, and the parts he didn't eat, he mailed to diplomats. And then there was another guy, a homeless guy, who was eating the face of another homeless guy over the weekend, and he ate the entire face off while the guy was alive.
Let me ask you: if you were stuck and there's no food around in a plane crash,
Go ahead.
how long? Or the Donna pass? I would have been the first to say, "Pass me a knee."
Really? You would eat a person?
If it's survival.
But these people are eating people for fun. There's no
Maybe-
plane crash.
Well, I understand it tastes just like chicken.
Right, you do? You've eaten people.
No, that's what they always say. No matter what you eat, you say, tastes like chicken.
All right, it's Joan Rivers, the new book, I Hate Everyone, starting with me in stores today. We will be back right after these words. Lovely
I
seeing
love you so
I love
much.
you too much.
So much.
And David Letterman, it's about time you had her on the show. Good for you. All right, we'll be back right after these words. That's Robert Mitchum's story. Could you imagine Robert Mitchum?
Wait, I got to tell you,
I would never.
you reach a certain age, you can talk about it.
Well, yeah, he's gone. We could talk
He's
about
gone.
it.
I'm going to post
And
in front of you so you don't
yes,
trip.
And the wife is gone, so nobody's going to get hurt.
That's right, except for Melissa.
Were you serious about Gabe Dell?
Yeah.
You know who Gabe Dell was?
No, I
Big
have no
romance.
idea.
Gabe was at the Bowery Boys. This is the name I looked
Yeah,
at him.
he
He
said that.
was Gabe from the Bowery Boys. I was like, oh my God,
It
that's
was so great. And we had
Which
like
one
a
was
year
Gabe?
romance.
He was the good-looking one who wasn't funny.
Big.
He was the sort of the serious guy.
He was a big Broadway star.
Oh,
He
so
was
he
always-
probably hated the Bowery Boys. He
Yeah,
was probably
he
like-
was a really good. It was a wonderful actor.
But it was like, I used to love Gabe.
Yeah, see, I loved Gabe. We had a big romance.
I didn't know any of this scandal
I think
existed.
Edgar knew that.
I didn't know about any of this scandal.
See, well, you know.
Hey,
on the
listen, show
times.
business.
Show business.
All right.
Hello.
Joan, you've done this show so many times.
Yes, I love my darling Howard.
What's it like, though, without Robin actually in the booth?
It was so weird because you keep turning to the booth
Right.
to see Robin, and of course she's coming at us through, from her home. So it was very funny, and I miss her.
You know, you and Howard talked at length about the various appearances you've done on Ed Sullivan
Yes.
and Johnny Carson
Yes.
and the pressure you felt.
Yeah.
How does Howard alleviate the pressure when you come on his show?
Howard is like talking to a friend. Howard is just, you go on and you just laugh with your friend.
Even without a joint, you're still laughing.
Even without a joint. Can you imagine if we had a joint?
And Robert Mitchum.
And Robert Mitchum.
Thank you, Joan. Good luck with the book.
Bye-bye.
Bye.